All right, welcome everybody. We've got a big crowd here watching live. I'm sure we'll have more people on the recordings later. Great to have you all here. This is the last opening round game for Civ4 AI Survivors season number 5. This is game number 8. Here's a quick overview of our map. As usual, it's one of our Pangea setups, except this one, for whatever reason, has a little tail over here to the right. I saw one person in their prediction contest entry suggested I had added this land. I did not add this land. This is just what the map generator threw out. I do have to roll quite a few maps, but eventually I get ones that look kind of interesting. So we've got 7 AIs. The pool 1 leader for this game is Stalin. He is the favorite in the picking contest. He was our season 3 champion, and he has been picked to win by about half the people in the picking contest. We're apparently over 200 viewers right now, so glad to have you all here. Our other pool seeded leader is pool 2 leader is Cyrus, who did really well in some of the earlier seasons of AI Survivor, hasn't been as successful since then. The other leaders that we've drawn into this game, we also have Darius, who's a really good economic leader, like super good economic traits, tends to be a slow starter, could be in some trouble because he has a very high peace weight. Genghis Khan, who is just super militaristic, has not really done well in any games, but will probably ruin someone else's game. He actually is probably one of the more important players in this game because he is probably going to wreck someone else's game, but we'll have to see where his wild wrecking ball heads. Isabella, who is one of the most religious leaders in the game, she will found the game's first religion. She's the only one who starts with mysticism. A big part of this game is who founds the other religion, because she will hate them because she hates anyone who doesn't follow her religion. But religious zealot, pretty easy to understand. Washington, who's a relatively peaceful leader, he is like in this isolated start over here, so it's kind of going to be fun to see how he interacts with the other leaders, particularly Stalin. These two will probably not like each other. They have very different peace weights. And then Willem, who's a very good economic leader, he often gets too caught up in his cultural and economic pursuits. He is kind of one of the dark horse candidates to win. I have picked him to win this game because I like his econ setup. But that's kind of our start, and let's get started then. So as always, we want to see where the early settlers are going. Here's Izzy. Will research meditation. We knew she would get the first religion. The question is who's going to compete with her for that religion. So Willem, also in the race, and Washington also potentially in the race. The 2 seafood starts are researching fishing, which makes sense. That's how the AI tends to prioritize. And Stalin is researching agriculture, which is the correct tech for him to pick up because he has a wet corn at his start. So that's what we've got on the initial teching fronts. As far as where the settlers are going, all right. So who's going where? Well, Cyrus is heading east. Willem's heading east as well. I predicted he would probably go for this resource cluster. Izzy's going south, so her holy city is probably going to pop up somewhere in this area. Washington's going the only direction he can go, which is west. Stalin's going south, which is interesting. And Darius is going east, so heading towards the middle of the map. And we haven't really seen where the Mongols are going just yet. All right, well, that's a fast second city from Darius. Unfortunately for him, most of the good tiles are in the second ring, but he does have a floodplains here, so it's not totally useless. And as a financial leader, anything that's on river is pretty good. He's also already hooking up his, I guess this is a wet, yeah, he's already hooking up his wet corn. So yeah, Darius will be out to a pretty fast start, I think. For him, it's more the issue is that he's not going to be very popular. Darius, head for the copper. He has not headed there yet, but there's a good chance he will. Now, he will have to research bronze working to be able to see the copper. So Willem has gone on the hill here to the northeast. This is a really nice city here. Very, very strong. Stone. Now, remember, he's creative, so he gets the free border pops. He starts with agriculture, so he'll be able to hook that up instantly. And then it's going to have... He really needs to get animal husbandry. Willem should be opening hunting animal husbandry as the start he should be running. Instead, he's opening mysticism, which is dumb. I do like what he did here, though. While he was waiting for the borders to pop to 10 culture, he farmed the cow, so it makes it a 3-1 tile. It's like a mini resource tile. And now I'm assuming he'll hook up that, so... not the best tech preferences, research path, but it's something. Izzy's culture is going to be dominant here, but she's actually picked a terrible spot for her second city. This is going to be useless until she gets ironworking, and that's a long way down the road. She's also building a monument, even though she's going to found a religion here. So yeah, not a great spot for a second city, unfortunately. Not a great spot. Stalin, good. I like where he's put this city. He is fortunately has a agricultural resource in the first ring, so he will be able to connect this once he finishes his current research. And what is this? What are you? What is this city? What? What? Is this the real poverty point over here? For some reason, he decided to found on the incense. Just Washington things. This is where, if you're playing League of Legends, you get the question mark pings. I mean, if you can expand borders, it's not that bad because it does have a corn resource, but this city is immeasurably better if it just puts the corn resource in the first ring. I don't know why he wouldn't settle. He should just settle on like this tile here. It's much better. I know it wastes the floodplains, but then he's got this in the first ring, and he's on the river for the extra health, and blah blah blah. Whatever. It's a dry corn, so it's not quite as strong, but I mean, dry corn's still a good resource. Yeah, he probably should have put this. Probably should have put the city there. Probably. Oh well. Or alternately put it here if he wants the floodplains. I mean, it's not on the river, but oh well. So who still hasn't settled yet? Cyrus still hasn't settled, and Genghis still hasn't settled yet. So keep an eye on them. All right. So Temujin settles here. Now, did he? Okay. So this city is saved by the fact that it splits the corn got split over here. Without the corn, this is a pretty useless city, but because he split the corn over here, it becomes worthwhile. His capital has enough food. Like there's more than enough food here between the double seafood resources. So this is the correct decision. So this will be all right. Those traits are really bad for anything other than fighting. I guess imperialistic is okay. And then we have Cyrus, who I don't know where he's going with this. Fortunately, he's not settling up on Willem. Let's see where this is going. So note that Willem is chasing after meditation. I wonder if he'll cancel out of this when he sees the religion get founded. Yeah, Cyrus is wasting a lot of time with his settler. And he's also sending it to the coast? Oh, come on. Surely that's not where you want to send this settler, buddy. Ugh. That's pretty bad. This is a weak spot. And he's building a workboat. Okay. Well, this is how not to get good use out of your imperialistic trait. Okay, so let's just unpack this for a second before we move on. Izzy, of course, founds the first religion. Darius, Willem have both... Okay, so apparently Willem did cancel his chase of a religion. We'll see if he goes back and picks that up later on. All right, so the big thing about imperialistic is you get bonus production towards settlers. But remember, the key thing is it's bonus production. It does not apply to food tiles. So this is why the seafood start is so bad for Cyrus over here. He doesn't get bonus production on imperialistic via these seafood resources, and he has to build workboats. Whereas if you just had like a corn start, he could just hook up the corn immediately. Like he really wants agriculture and animal husbandry resources at his start. And while he does have animal husbandry, he doesn't have. Cyrus does not have any agriculture resources, so that really hurts him. All right, so is Izzy's religion on the big river? It does appear to be on the big river that connects down here, so there's a decent chance her religion will spread down to Stalin and to Darius down here. So really weird settling decisions from him. I just did not like the seafood start for him. Right now it looks like everybody's on wheel tech. Yeah, so that's the predictable conversion. Izzy's building workboats. She's already connected one. That's probably pretty smart. She's still building the monument here. So she's going to control this area culturally. That does mean Stalin could get squeezed a little bit here. Like if you zoom out and the Spanish culture is going to be dominant here and here, does mean Stalin could get squeezed a little bit. We'll see. I mean, Washington has no other direction to go except towards him. But you know, Stalin's a pretty solid AI leader. We have enough evidence by now that he's pretty good at this. So who's building settlers? Looks like Darius is going to get the first settler out. That's unexpected. Usually expansion's his weak point. But hey, look at this. Yeah, good capital for his starting text. agriculture, hunting are his starting techs, and there you go. He's hooked up both resources, so he's going to have a fast settler. Maybe this is the game where Darius does well. I mean, he did win his opening round game last year, so it's not impossible. So yeah, it looks like that will be the first. Will be the first one to get a. Could be the first one to get his settler out. Meanwhile, over here, some of the other, because like the other imperialistic leaders are still building workboats. The tech that Cyrus needs really badly is animal husbandry. Like he's farming his resources. Like he gets the mini resource there with the 4-food cow tile, but obviously that's not that useful. Meanwhile, Willem has done the same thing. He's turned these into like miniature resources by farming them. It's not that bad, honestly. This is, I mean, he needs to get animal husbandry as well, but like it's not the worst. Where is his worker by the? Oh, hopefully he's going over here to connect this. If you're like me and you have Willem, hopefully you want to see that. Meanwhile, Forgotten Man Washington, we should check in on him. So he's actually looking okay here. He's going to have all his seafood resources connected starting next turn. Assuming he moves his workboat. Alright, now he finally connected. I don't know why he's building a barracks right now. He's got a ridiculous amount of food. He's at +9 food surplus. He does not have the happiness to work this. Even with charismatic. See the, oh yeah, that's the happiness from charismatic. But that said, he probably builds a monument here, and this is one place where charismatic will be helpful because he doesn't have any early happiness resources and he's got a ton of food. So, alright, let's keep an eye on these settlers again. The first one out on the map is indeed from, is this, no, that's a workboat. I was like, is he finish one? But no, that's a workboat. So yeah, the very first settler is indeed out here from Darius, rather surprisingly. So let's watch where it goes. That's the only really interesting thing happening. All right, going towards the Mongols, it looks like. I would guess that he will, you know, if he settles for this resource cluster here, he could really put the squeeze on the Mongols. Let's see. Anyone going for another religion yet? Nope, not yet. Willem, early pottery. Should be going for animal husbandry, but wants to get those cottages going early on. He is farming the other resource tile. All right, yeah, boy, this is... let's see where this one's going. I think he's going to settle, like, right here. No, okay. No, that would have been too smart. Instead, he's settled so that the resources are all in the second ring, which is really dumb. Well, Darius is certainly... He's certainly waving the red flag here at the Mongols, let's just put it that way. By settling this spot, he's definitely antagonizing them. Still a pretty big cluster here on the map that's pretty open. So there's more settlers just finishing. We've got one almost done here for Stalin. And I think Izzy had one. No, I guess she's a little bit further behind. Willem just finished a settler, though, so we'll keep an eye on where this one's going. If he's smart, he'll send it towards the center of the map. Yeah. Like, he might go for, like, a spot over here, which would be weak in the immediate run, but good long term. Oh, Darius is back on the religious train. Could be trouble. Yeah, I think he's going to settle right here on this hill tile. Yep. So, good long-term spot. Really needs bronze working, though. Apparently, he's also gone to hunting, which is smart. His path should be hunting into... His tech path right now should be hunting into animal husbandry. I don't know if he'll be smart enough to do that, but that's what the tech path should be. And here's a nice pick. So, wow, early granaries from Willem. Now, if he can just get his happiness cap up, he's got the whatchamacallit, the ivory to give him 1 point of happiness. Still, pretty successful early game thus far. All right, there should be some other settlers out. A whole bunch of people should have just finished settlers. All right, Cyrus just finished one. And there's one almost done here in Beshbalik. And Stalin's got... Oh, where's Stalin sending this? He's sending this into the tundra? What is he doing? What is Stalin doing here? Oh, dear. Why? Why the tundra, buddy? Darius has a 4th settler almost done. Yes, well, halfway done. The chat's like, yes, and no, Stalin! I don't know. Maybe just walking along about route over here to the east. That could be it. So we do also have our first Barb city popping up here in an important spot halfway between the Russians and it's kind of right in the middle of these three, right? It's right in between Spain and Russia and America. So they'll all have a shot at that one. So Izzy, I believe, has a settler out to. Nope, nope, she doesn't. Okay, she spent so much time building workboats. So this is why the AI is really puzzles you sometimes. She hooks up quadruple seafood resources, and then what tiles is she working? Yeah, she's not working any of them. Oh boy. Anyway, so Cyrus has got a settler moving over here. He's probably going to found on this spot because it's both of these two resources. Let's see. Yep. I wouldn't say Cyrus has claimed a ton of land so far yet, though. And where's that Stalin settler? Here it is. Still wandering around. Still has not planted yet. Izzy's at the happy cap, yeah. No, I mean, I understand that, but if you're smart when you're at the happy cap like this, you toss down, you work these tiles and you build a settler. That's what you do. Like, that's the solution here. So anyway, there is a race going on for this religion right now, second religion, and it looks like Darius or Washington could get this. Darius is in the driver's seat. Darius would win a tie if it's the same turn, and Willem is on animal husbandry, which again, as I mentioned, is the tech he needs. I really like the opening Willem's done so far. His creative culture is also grabbing a lot of tiles. Still curious where Stalin's going to send this settler, though. Oh, I actually got attacked by the barbs, but did win. I think he's grabbing this spot, which is much better than the tundra we were looking at before. But he's still slowly walking this thing. It's been on the march for quite some time now. All right, that's not bad. Floodplains. It'll be better once the borders pop. He's not researching the right tech to pop the borders, is he? He still doesn't have mysticism. Still, I mean, he's not claiming land towards his competitors, which is kind of an issue. Like Izzy and even Darius are kind of squeezing him. Now, I know Darius had a settler out. Mongols founded a city, though, so we should check in on them. This is a pretty solid city. Double food resources. It's a little tundra-y overall. Little tundra-y, but... So Isabella couldn't build a settler because her second city was doing it. Yeah, the AI sometimes makes bad calls like that. And look how much territory Isabella's grabbed with her holy city here. Just swallowed up a lot of culture. But like I really like look at Willem. He's already got cottage down here. His research rate's going to be great because he picked up pottery so much earlier than anyone else. Now he needs to get bronze working to chop these forests, and he's about to hook this up to give him another happiness phase. Just a pretty strong opening from him. Darius also has executed a nice opening as well. Now he's moving over here to the east. It looks like he's going for that copper spot that a number of you had highlighted. And he's probably going to found a religion here. So Stalin did just pick up bronze working, which is a nice tech. Let's see. All right, so Darius is our second religion is the person who founded our second religion. So that could shuffle the diplomacy. Now, Isabella's going to hate him. So her aggression will likely be targeted towards him. They're both high peace weight, but she just hates anyone who doesn't have her religion so much. And Washington also founded a third city. His city placements have been really bizarre. He, again, needs to expand borders desperately here because his cow's in the second ring, but he will have iron connected instantly. Stalin needs to grab... Yeah, this territory here, it'll be curious to see who gets this. I would suspect Washington, just because he has nowhere else to go, whereas Stalin has, room to put cities up here. I don't know, though. I'm kind of glad I don't have Stalin for number one. I don't like his opening. I don't think it's been executed very well. Now, Izzy should have a settler out somewhere. Didn't she? All right, so she just finished one here in her second city, which is now building a temple because it really needs happiness. This second city is such garbage for her. She needs iron working very badly to make this worthwhile. Instead, she's off doing who knows what. Willem's going for masonry. which is likely to connect this. He will probably build, he's probably going to build pyramids with this, because he likes to build wonders, but he's actually looking pretty strong here, honestly. Really like this, and he just finished animal husbandry too, so he should be connecting his um, animal husbandry resources. Is Willem going monotheism? Good question. He might be, because that would give us 3 religions in this. Not yet. We'll know if he goes polytheism. There's a good chance he gets the monotheism religion just because his teching is better than anyone else's. So Darius right now needs to get to bronze working so he can hook this up. But I don't know if he even has mining tech yet. He does not. He is going animal husbandry, which will give him a unit. That doesn't suck. One thing to watch too is when do the Mongols get to ironworking? Because that's when they'll become dangerous. Unfortunately for them, they don't seem to have horses in the immediate vicinity, so that makes them kind of sad. This copper could be big. Who grabs this copper? Does this go to the Mongols or does this go to the Persians? I suspect the Persians get it, but that's not guaranteed. All right, I'm trying to see if anyone else has a settler out right now. Oh, Izzy still has her settler, her trailing city. She's building the Oracle. Okay, which she will probably use to grab another religion. I don't think that's a good call. She needs to be expanding right now. I don't know where this settler's going either. One of her weaknesses is she's just not that good at expanding. She's probably going to found right here, which is honestly not a bad spot because she's got a workboat that can grab that. So Mongols now have bronze working. They're getting ready to expand. We'll see when they go on. He's going animal husbandry, but expect an early iron working there. Oh, and the Russians have a settler right here too. Okay, I didn't realize there's a settling race going on. Well, I think if Stalin founds on this tile, he wins the race because he moves first in turn order. Oh, wow. It's big. Is Isabella going for another religion? She probably is. Well, hasn't queued it up yet. All right, I think that's a pretty significant city founding, because if Izzy grabs that, she can maybe lock Stalin out of this part of the map. Whereas instead, he does have control of this. So, a pretty important settling race. I think he won it by half a turn. And this is no... So, I wonder if she puts it here or further east. I don't know. We'll see. That settler's got to go somewhere. Yeah, I think she's going to put it here. I think it's the only valid spot in the area. Yep. Okay, well, this looks like it might cause trouble long term. So yeah, Izzy's gotten a bit squeezed. Oh, and this is bad for her. This barbarian city founding in her backlines means she's going to have delayed access to copper. I think one of the reasons some people liked her in this game is they thought she'd grab this copper early on, but that means it's going to be delayed for a long time before she gets copper. And does she have... She doesn't have any... That's her source of metals. She doesn't have any horses or iron. That was her one source of metals, and she doesn't have it now. Oh boy, this could be really bad for her. Is he the first to die looking good? I'd say it's in play. Also, apparently, 4 turns away from finishing Stonehenge up here. I mean, not that a creative leader needs Stonehenge, but Willem's looking pretty solid up there. All right. Now he just needs to build more settlers. Now he's got 1 out there. All right, so domestics. Who's got settlers out? The Mongols do. Got a settler right there. They actually have double settlers with imperialistic. Gonna trash that economy apparently. And look who's going for copper. Remember, he can see copper because he's finished bronze working. So even though the Mongols are low in score, yep. So they have now claimed the copper. And Cyrus may be locked out of... Cyrus might be... No, he's got the iron over here. So he'll be able to grab iron eventually, but he'll be in a dangerous spot until he gets that connected. And there's still another Mongol settler over here too. Meanwhile, Darius, he really needs to connect copper. I think he'll have it before he gets attacked, but he's not there yet. Cyrus also has an iron by Gordium. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, he needs another city to get this. Gordium will not claim this, so he needs another city to pick up that one. And I think this... Where's this Mongol city going to go? Still going further east. So there's Stonehenge getting built by the Dutch. I think this is going to plant right here. So yeah, that Mongol economy is going to be terrible. But you can always recover your economy. Land is much harder to get than anything else. Here comes a Dutch settler heading south. Unfortunately, the best spot in the area already got claimed by the Mongols. You know, they could have gone another couple tiles further north and claimed that horses, which is a resource they need. All right, meanwhile over here, we haven't really been watching Washington because he's kind of boring. He settled down here. I mean, once the borders pop, it's a decent city, but it's pretty weak out of the gate. Certainly would have been smarter to push up here and grab this spot. I still think he likely gets this spot, though. And Izzy is still working on the Oracle. Who else has a settler out on the map? Stalin does. He's got one over here. Looks like he's going to grab this source of horses. One thing Stalin is good at is he's good at expanding. He's one of the better leaders, even though he's not imperialistic yet. He'll grab this spot, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, he wanted to go another... Oh, you know what? I guess he wanted to contest for this spot here. But the problem for him is he's moving right next to a Darius holy city. So this is, like, let's just wait for those borders to pop. So, like, right there, look at that. That city is getting crushed by Darius's culture. So I know Darius is one of the leaders. Oh, and he's going to grab the monotheism religion too, isn't he? He's going to have double holy cities. Here's the problem for Darius. He's played an effective opening game, but look, he's the worst enemy of Stalin, Genghis Khan, and Isabella, and that's trouble. That's why I am worried for him, even though he's executed a pretty good opening game. So he's the worst enemy of Washington, and worst enemy of Darius, yeah. Like, meanwhile, Willem's kind of flying under the radar a little bit. He put down a city here. Now, what he needs is he needs to get some kind of defensive unit better than archers. Also, how did this happen? How did how did barbarian warriors get down here? Well, he's going to solve that with the Great Wall, so... But he needs to get some kind of better resource connected. I guess he has horses, so he can build chariots at least. And we're about to hit turn... Did I just reveal the map? I think I did, and I just... All right, there we go. So we're about to hit turn 50, so we can do our big comparison there. Look at all these warriors trying to attack the archers. And not going to happen. You need at least axes to be able to capture warp cities. All right, so turn 50. And we did see one more city from Cyrus, but I wouldn't say he's looking too good. Where is that? All right, so Darius has founded both competing religions so far. All right, let's zoom out, get our overview of the map. This is kind of a stretched out map, so it's a little harder to see as compared to normal. I always try to get like the overview image. All right, there we go. Yeah, I knew that Izzy would found the first religion. I really didn't know who had found the follow-up religions after that. All right, so let's look at our... So GNP, not surprisingly, the financial leaders are leading. Willem, of course, has free creative culture plus Stonehenge culture, so not surprisingly, he looks really good. Darius has double. Well, I was going to say double holy cities, but only one gives him culture. But still, holy city plus getting financial makes you look good there. All right, production. Washington is struggling. Food. Izzy is struggling. That's a bad sign for Isabella that she's last in food. Power. Right now, Stalin's tops in power. The Mongols are second, although no one's too far ahead. And culture, yeah, our two holy city people. Well, no, never mind. I was going to say our two holy city people, but there's the one holy city. There's the other. This is just the Dutch being creative and having Stonehenge. I'm actually curious to look at research rate. Stalin's at 10. Cyrus is 13. Darius is 32. Wow, okay. Financial for the win. Genghis Khan's actually managing 16. I'm surprised he's doing that well. Although he's actually running negative on the slider right now. Izzy's at 9. That doesn't look good there. Washington's at 11. Willem's at 19. So right now Darius is the leader. Although that's partly because he's not running any espionage. That's the main reason why. Like, everybody else is running espionage for some reason. Silly AI. But yeah, Stalin's very squeezed here. I suspect we'll see... I would be surprised if we don't at least see someone attacking Darius. He just seems like he's made a lot of enemies. And he's such a low piece weight. So Willem builds a Great Wall. That'll help him against barbarians, I guess. And does he have any more settlers? He still has quite a bit of room to expand up here in the north. There's a copper resource up here. So middle of the map is kind of filled up at this point, but there's definitely room up here for, like, there's room for a decent city, like right here. I wonder if Cyrus or Willem will get here first. There's room for another decent city here too, like right here. Low on food, but marble would be nice. If Willem has marble and stone, that's going to be pretty disgusting. Meanwhile, Isabella just like has not improved her territory at all. She's going to get the Oracle here, but she's probably just going to slingshot some stupid religious tech with it. Let's see if she founded a religion. Did she go for like the Christianity religion, theology religion? No. Well, I wonder what she actually picked up. Let's see. She went for monarchy. That's not a bad call. She can use the happiness. I mean, she just has no resources connected. What techs has she been skipping? So she doesn't have the wheel, doesn't have bronze working, doesn't have pottery, doesn't have sailing, doesn't have animal husbandry. Okay, well, this is called an ineffective route through the tech tree. Ugh, the Bismarck Gambit. Yeah. So even though I liked Izzy's starting position, I just think she's not a very good AI, honestly. So that's why I wasn't much in favor of her. So meanwhile, Stalin needs to get up to ironworking so he can build units better than archers. He did grab horses here, so expect to see that soon. He won't plot war if he just has archers and warriors. So until he gets better units, he's not likely to try anything. Probably just still in expansion mode. Washington continues to settle the tundra instead of resources that are actually useful. So there's that. Cyrus did just pick up bronze working. And do we have any settlers on the map over here? We actually do have another Genghis Khan settler out on the map. He is pushing expansion pretty good. And look at this. So he's on ironworking. When he connects ironworking and grabs this iron, then he will likely look to get aggressive after that. As for Darius, he got out to the initial 4 cities, but he hasn't really been expanding after that. Oh, here's an unescorted Russian settler. Looks like it'll be okay. Where is this going? No units defending it. Good thing there's no barbs here. What is this? Seriously, Stalin, what, are you just like trying to hug? Are you trying to give Darius a big hug right now with your cities? Between this city and this city. It was like, what? Does he not want to control his own first-ring tiles? I mean, he doesn't even have mysticism researched yet, right? Which is one of Stalin's weaknesses. Yeah, no mysticism, so can't expand borders. I mean, what is this city? I don't get it. I mean, Stalin's like, he's planning cities, he's expanding, which is always good, but I don't know. I'm questioning this setup here. Meanwhile, Willem's like, all right, I'll just build the pyramids in 11 turns, because I can. Because that'll be helpful, right? And researching sailing to give him trade along rivers. So, yeah, I mean, a lot's going to depend on, obviously, when these wars break out, but I do really like the way Willem's playing. I like Darius, too. It's just Darius, I think, is going to get attacked. Darius still has not connected his copper yet, although he's researching bronze working, so he will finally have it connected soon. So, again, I think he'll have it before anyone attacks him, but, yeah, not the fastest. Willem, I think, is going to plant right here and grab this iron. No, he did not, actually. And that could be an issue because, well, he's on ironworking now. Never mind. I was gonna say because he might need iron, but he has a source of iron right here. So it looks like Cyrus is gonna grab this. Cyrus has already planted a tundra city up here, which is a pretty good one. Double seafood resources. Now he's gonna grab this spot right here, presumably. Oh no, he backed off. Huh. I wonder why. Some good terrain in this area. I don't quite understand that. Well, anyway, meanwhile, Izzy is still stuck on 3 cities. She is building a settler, but like if she doesn't get more territory, she's going to be very weak. Has Washington connected any useful resources? I guess he has horses. This Barb City definitely seems to be slowing down a lot of the AIs. Look how many warriors are gathered here. Of course, this Barb City now has promoted two of the archers and built another one. So it doesn't look like it's going to fall anytime soon. Not until someone gets axes. And these leaders around here. Again, if Washington would just settle for this copper resource, he'd be better off. But a lot of people, oh, he doesn't even have mining yet, so never mind. He can't see the resource because he doesn't have bronze working, like an idiot. Yeah, once Willem connects his iron, he's going to be way safer. He also planted a city over here, which splits off the food from Utrecht. That kind of just weakens Utrecht, unfortunately for him. I don't quite get this. Gonna be tough to push back against Izzy's culture. Well, still no religions have spread beyond their founders yet either. Although now that sailing is being researched by some people, I think we'll start to see the religions spread. Here's Darius connecting his copper. So now he will finally be able to build axes and spears. All right, so you see there's the Buddhist missionaries. Now, where does he spread this religion first? That's a super important question. Who does he convert to his religion? Because as of right now, Darius is very unpopular by a lot of other leaders, and the only reason he hasn't been attacked yet, I suspect, is the fact that they didn't have metals connected, but like you can see, Mongols have connected their metal now, so expect them to start launching themselves at someone. Who else is a worst enemy? He's the worst enemy of Darius and Washington. Okay. Alright, I don't know why Washington would hate. I guess it's a peace weight thing. But like Stalin, is he researching? Alright, Stalin still does not have iron working either. He won't do anything until he connects metals. Who does Darius have open borders with? That's a great question because he won't spread unless he... Oh, he doesn't have open borders with anyone yet because he doesn't have writing. Great question. That's why. They can't spread because they don't have open borders. They can't send their missionaries through yet. Good question. And like once Willem connects his iron, he can start thinking about he could potentially start attacking someone too. All right, so Washington picks up Izzy's religion, and Willem picks up Darius's religion. Double conversions here. Let's just see how that just scrambled the diplomacy. So I'm looking at, so Temujin still really dislikes Darius in Washington, and Izzy dislikes Darius. How about Willem? He kind of likes everybody, but not a lot. And Stalin still dislikes Darius and Isabella. He's actually annoyed with both of them, so he could easily attack both. It would probably be smarter of Stalin if he were to attack Izzy, because she's just not very strong. She doesn't have a... She has no sources of metal and no sources of horses, so she's kind of a sitting duck right now. She's got an unescorted settler over here that I guess is going up to the border. Where did that settler just go? Oh, never mind, it just moved back. But like, Willem just finished the pyramids. What is this city doing here? What the heck is this? Man, the Mongols are just expanding everywhere. I just want to look at the beakers. Their research has to be terrible. So Stalin's at 14 beakers. Cyrus is at 14. Darius is at 33. They're at 14. Isabella's at 15. Willem's at 25. Okay. Nobody really pulling away with it yet. Like, they've crammed these cities right up to the border. I really wonder who they're going to attack. Such a big question. Who do the Mongols race after to attack? What tech is Shwedagompaya? Aesthetics, I think? Yeah, it's aesthetics. I keep forgetting Washington. Well, Washington hasn't really done anything. It's true, I'm not really thinking much about him. He hasn't done too much. Like, let's see him settle for his copper, and then we'll see. He pretty much needs... Alright, so he grabbed this city. And now Stalin has flipped to Darius's religion. Okay. Again, this could be pretty significant. I would say this is not lining up well for Isabella here. Her neighbors have flipped into a religion, have not been flipping into her religion. They've been flipping into Darius's religion. This could be good for Darius. But the longer the game goes on, without a war starting, the better it is for Willem and Darius, because they have by far the best teching power of anyone in this game. Like, did Willem even swap into a pyramid of civic that his pyramids unlocked. He hasn't yet. Oh, you know what it is? He's still waiting out the anarchy from adopting a religion. That's why he hasn't adopted it yet. But like, I still think there's ample room for Willem to expand up here in the north. Like, he can get probably 3 or 4 more pretty good cities up here, up in the tundra. I guess Stalin technically has room in the south, but it's a lot of ice in there. Just seems like there's more resources in the north. There's actually a lot of barbarian fighting going on up here. Yeah, we should check if Temujin's plotting. I suspect he is. No, he's not, because it's all white. I guess he isn't. But on the power bar graphs, we can see who's got the most power. It is him, followed by Willem. Washington's very low. Izzy's very low. Neither of them have resources connected yet. Washington is about to finish bronze working, so maybe then he'll finally go for that copper. Although Stalin is slipping in here with another settler. That would mean Washington would have to go all the way to ironworking to get a metal hooked up, which he does have iron, but oh man, what is it with Stalin and settling right on people's faces in this game? He's really going out of his way to make enemies of his neighbors with these city placements. He does have a lot of cities though, which is always a good thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, he has 8 cities. 3, 4, 5. Only 6 over here, and Washington's pretty much out of space now. Izzy is still on 3 cities. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stalin definitely has the most cities. That's not really in dispute. That's true. Religion gives him a little bit of culture. Yeah, he can use the cities that have religion can pop their borders. Rostov here will pop borders just off religion, but that's it. I believe that's the only city of his that has Buddhism. This Barb city is pretty well defended. Wait, Isabella converts. Wait, what? Izzy swapped out of her holy city religion? What? I have never seen that. She swapped out of her self-founded religion. What the heck? I've never seen that before. That's really weird. She literally adopted Darius's religion, huh? The only reason I can think of that is Madrid picked it up and 10 population here compared to 5 population here, but that's still so weird. It actually is a smart move. Huh, okay. Darius is now the worst enemy of Stalin, but that does mean, yes, that means that she will start liking all the people of the same religion. Willem's now pleased with Isabella thanks to that. Huh. I wonder if, is he plotting war? Nope, just building some swords. Now Willem's going for those creative libraries. Yeah, well, surprisingly peaceful opening to the game so far. I thought someone would have attacked by now. Boy, Cyrus looks not especially strong. Cyrus and Isabella both look pretty weak here. Darius is teching merrily along. It's more like if Darius does not get run over in the early game, he's very much in play to win this game. I just suspect he's going to get dragged down by warfare. Oh, okay. Huh. Didn't see that as our first war. Well, this means that Temujin is not going to attack Darius, so that's good news for Darius. All right, our first war. Like I said, an unexpected one. Cyrus attacking the Mongols. I don't know if that's a good idea. Cyrus doesn't have any metals, as far as I can tell, because I don't think he has... Yeah, he hasn't finished ironworking yet. So this could be kind of a one-sided war. I don't think that was a good idea, personally. In fact, Cyrus just kind of took a hit on the first turn of that war. Could we actually see a strong Temujin in this game? I guess we'll see. So the initial attack was launched here. Now remember, Immortals do get a bonus against archers. And Cyrus does move first, so he might capture this city. I don't think he could hold it if he does, though. Nope, not enough. I mean, Immortals are good against archers, but you know what they're not good against? Spears. Oh boy, we're starting to see a really big Buddhist block now. Now everybody's practicing Buddhism. Everybody's on the Buddhism train. Maybe we could... This is a game where if this holds, we could potentially see like a diplomatic victory. Maybe. But there are a lot of people who plot it pleased, though, so it's no guarantee everyone will just stay one big happy Buddhist love fest. Stalin has now hooked up horses. Stalin is going for ironworking, so he's going to have metals soon. then we'll start to see him be more active. I guess the main action is over here for right now. Here comes the Mongol stack. It's just the Immortals will do well against axes, and they'll do well against archers, but they will do poorly against spears, obviously. The one other thing to mention about Immortals, just this is a unique unit you don't necessarily see that much, is they do get defensive bonuses. They are unlike normal chariots in that regard. It's kind of hard to see because it doesn't say that on here, but note that there's nothing that says does not get defensive bonuses. Like chariots, hold on, let me grab a chariot here. See how the chariot says doesn't receive defensive bonuses? Immortals do. So like if they're in a forest or something, like here in the jungle, they actually get that extra bonus from tiles. Does Cyrus have archery or mysticism? Good question. Let's see. He does have archery. He does not have mysticism. He is researching ironworking, so he will have metals connected. He's got a safe metal source. Wait, doesn't he have iron in his territory? Oh no, he hasn't expanded borders. So he doesn't. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. I thought he had a safe iron source somewhere in his territory. I guess he doesn't. I thought he was going to grab this one, but he never actually picked it up. He doesn't have borders. Oh, this could be really bad for him then. At least he has archers. But like swords are not going to run into anything that's really going to stop them. Well, we'll see. Meanwhile, just quietly out here, note that the Dutch are still settling here in the north. They've grabbed this spot here and this spot here and already pushed out the borders, which means that they are going to be favorites to continue getting. There's some nice resources up here. Furs, silver, more seafood. Still looking pretty good up there. Anyway, so is Cyrus going to be the first one out of this game? Well, he just lost a city. Yeah, I thought Darius would be the one to pull early aggression. He has not been doing it. Did the Barb City out east get captured? Nope. We would have seen a pop-up message for it. This city is still pretty well defended. It still has 4 archers inside. Someone attacked it, but they didn't. I guess Stalin's still attacking it, but he hasn't taken it yet. Yeah, it's still holding for the moment. Like I said, well, we apparently had a Barb city taken by the... Oh, and the Dutch got this city too. Wow. That's really bad for Izzy. And he also went hereditary rule too. That's bad for Isabella. Willem is going to have so much territory at the end of this. Like, so much territory. He's cut her off from the north now. Like, I think Willem is going to clean up this whole north because Cyrus is certainly not going to be expanding, not while he's in a war here. It's assuming Cyrus doesn't just straight up die here. Oh boy. Yep, Izzy is not looking good. She has just gotten stuck on 3 cities. You know, this city here really hurt her a lot, the fact that Stalin got it and not her. She's not looking good. Anyway, so it looks like Cyrus was not able to recapture this city, and because he never popped his borders here, he's in a lot of trouble. I mean, he had an iron source here and an iron source here, hardly a long distance from his capital, but he has not managed to connect either one of them. Pretty shaky. I mean, he initiated this war himself. So, definitely looks like a mistake. All right, well, that may help Izzy get a little bit back into this game. She took the Barb City that was contested between these different leaders. Still not looking too good. And Stalin is about to finish ironworking, and Washington's about to finish ironworking. So then they will have the ability to train actual units and do something. Washington is continuing to settle the fishing villages. Can't talk. So he's at 7 cities. The Mongols are going to be pretty strong if they can pull off this conquest. And he is finally researching mysticism, so there's that. Yeah, I'm not sure that I see... Oh, and Cyrus built the Great Lighthouse for him. Ugh. And built the Great Lighthouse, so that could very easily be captured by the Mongols here. Um, the question is, would someone else get involved in this war? Like, let's see if Darius is plotting war. He's pretty peaceful. Nope, doesn't look like it. How about Willem? He's a little bit more aggressive. Nope, doesn't look like it. Just happy to build. How about Stalin? I doubt it right now. Nope. Needs to hook up, needs to build some more metal units first. So yeah, it doesn't look like Darius is going to be the first one out of this game. Despite his poor diplomatic situation, looks like Cyrus is most likely to be the first one out because he can't build metal units because he was stupid. He stupidly didn't ever research mysticism. What is Cyrus doing in? I think he's just exploring. I don't know. Maybe he was going for a barb spot. Oh, and now look at this, Leiden founded right here. Now Willem's gonna have access to marble as well as access to stone. He's gonna build all the wonders in this game. The Dutch are just spreading like a plague across the top of the map right now. They've got a lot of population. I mean, we'll look at the bar graphs in a little bit, but Dutch are certainly looking strong right now. And Blue Persia is looking pretty dead right now. I do wonder if the Mongols were going to attack the Darius, if that war declaration hadn't pulled them into this conflict. I don't know. That's one of those we'll never know questions. But Cyrus certainly really screwed the pooch on this one. Ugh, this city only has one immortal on defense. I don't think it's going to hold. And once the iron's gone, I mean that's like a game over situation. Yeah, that city cannot hold. Not against all those swords with an immortal and an archer. I know immortals do get defensive bonuses, but that's not going to be enough. Yeah, with that copper, with the city being taken, that's pretty much a game over situation. Looks like Cyrus is going to be first out of this one. I did not think he would be first to die. I didn't think he'd be strong in this game, but I did not peg him as first to die. So we're going to have a lot of Mongols in this, a lot of Mongol cities. Economy is going to be absolute garbage, but having a lot of cities is its own reward. Great Lighthouse will help a lot. There's a lot of coastal cities here. I mean, look at this. It actually does have cottages on all these floodplains. So we could have a race between whether the Mongols can get strong enough to run people over or if they're like just too technologically behind. Still no other wars. I do feel like I need to check periodically. Nope. Like, is Stalin plotting at this point? Nope. Nope, doesn't look like we're gonna have any other wars. So if no one else is jumping into wars, that means that Cyrus is just very, very dead. Okay. Oh, this was apparently taken by the Persians and then immediately recaptured by the Mongols. You can only get one pop-up message because you have to refresh the map after the city gets captured. But yeah, this looks like it's pretty much over. How much territory are the Mongols going to have? So right now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Could have 12 cities at the end of this. Like how does that compare to like the Dutch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Dutch have 10 cities, so they would be keeping pace for the most part. There's a new Barb city up there. Willem did adopt hereditary rule, didn't he? Eventually. Yeah. So does anyone have hereditary rule as favorite civic? No, apparently, which is surprising because a lot of leaders have hereditary rule as their favorite civic. Mysticism is the opiate of the masses. So Cyrus did finally pick up masonry, so he has walls now in his cities, and that will slow things down a little bit because there's no catapults on the part of the Mongols yet. But they just have a pretty large number. Where's this? Oh, Darius raised a city in the deep south. Okay, that's not really significant. Yeah, Darius still looking pretty good. And look at his economy humming along, all those financial tiles, getting the financial bonus on all those tiles. The problem is there's like if if there were just any source of metal to build axes, like put like 2 axes in this city and it does not fall. But but if there's no axes to counter those swords, you're in pretty rough shape. Yeah, like some immortals just moved out and they just got cleaned up. Unfortunately, the AI also builds immortals when it really should just build more archers, because archers defend way better. But like there's these City Raider 2 swords are just gonna chop right through. Archers, you need axes to counter them, and there's just no axes in play. I'm in the mausoleum here. And Hindu monastery? Did he found Hinduism as a religion? Oh yeah, he did. Apparently. No. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Hinduism's the minority religion of Darius. Okay. I was like, I didn't even remember Hinduism popping up in this game. So yeah, we're just continuing to see like this ongoing conquest, which is still quite fast. It's not even turn 100 yet. Darius builds Temple of Artemis. Okay. Get that free priest specialist and extra trade route yield. So I think this is just an easy capture of Persepolis. Yep. There's even Kashyyyks in play now, because he finally, despite not having horses at the start, managed to push way up here. Is this the only source of horses for the Mongols? Like, is this where they're getting their horses from, this tile here? I think it is, actually. Yeah, wow. They really settled for those horses. Oh yeah, Temple of Artemis will culturally pressure that city, true. Needs 34 more turns. And then it's okay. This city is about to pop borders, so it's fine. Not going to happen. But this should be the fall of Persepolis, and I mean, there's only 2 more cities here, so sure looks like Cyrus is about finished in this game. Oops, I meant to hit screenshot, not Civilopedia. Yeah, he just needed to get a source of metals. He would have had it, he just didn't expand borders at this city. And Mongols took advantage of that. I mean, it didn't really. It was Cyrus who started the war, remember? So Izias now swapped back to her religion, which is probably not good for her because now she loses her shared faith bonus with everybody. Oh, look at this. Now she hates everybody. So now she is a very vulnerable target for somebody. Interesting that he's the worst enemy of a bunch of people. Cyrus, obviously, also Isabella Washington. Yeah, Darius is no longer the worst enemy of a bunch of these people. Washington is the worst enemy of Stalin. So it looks like Darius is going to get a pass here, which is what he needs. He could sail into the playoff round. We could just see like Willem plus Darius in this game. Maybe, if they just stay peaceful. Although, if conquerors start accumulating tons of territory, could be another story. But like Willem's building hanging gardens. He's got most of the north settled at this point. We'll do a check-in here because it's turn 100. Only 1 more in the first 100 turns. I'm legit surprised it's been so peaceful. I thought we'd have a more violent early game. I also thought someone would go after Darius, who is now expanding down to the deep south because no one's contesting him for this. And there's some good land. I mean, like, this is a good spot. Fishing city with marble. All right, let's look at our bar graphs. I would say this is not unfolding the way I anticipated in that respect. So GMP, the 2 financial leaders, also apparently Washington's improved recently. Production, Willem's leading the pack. Cyrus is dying. Isabella still kind of sucks there. Food, Willem, Washington, somewhat surprising. Cyrus dying, Isabella. Power, these 3, the Dutch, the Mongols, and the Russians. Isabella is just, she's really a sitting duck. She's just like, somebody come and kill me, please, and take my cities. All right, Stalin's plotting. I wonder if he's plotting for Isabella. He certainly should, because that's easy territory for him to claim. Could be Washington too, though. I think Washington was his worst enemy. Washington would be a much harder go of it because Washington does have resources connected. I mean, I think Stalin wins that war, but I don't think it's an easy conquest, not without catapults. Anyway, let's check in on their beakers. Stalin's 30 beakers per turn. Cyrus is dying, 14. Darius is 100. Genghis is 41. 62 for Izzy. Washington 77. Willem is 70. All right, so Willem and Darius is the current tech leader, and Darius is the leader despite having the 20% on espionage, so he's definitely outputting the most commerce right now. Although Willem apparently just has is higher expenses. His expenses are 65. Darius's are only 29. Wow, is Organized really doing that much for his expenses? Maybe it is. Organized for the win, it seems like. They're also both going for Hanging Gardens, but I think Willem probably wins the race based on what we're seeing. All right, yeah. Now the real question is going to be who do the Mongols go after next? Like after the Mongols finish this conquest, who's their next target? Because they'll go after somebody, that's for sure. So those archers did in fact kill quite a few attackers. Again, city, too bad this isn't on a hill for them, but 50% bonus defenses. It looks like the attack was mostly done with Kashyyyks, which are not as good. You kind of need the City Raider, those City Raider swords. Oh, and wait, how did he get... Oh, someone traded metals. Someone must have traded metals over to them. Who's supplying them? Someone's supplying them with metals. Who's giving them... It's Willem. Willem's supplying them with iron. Huh. Well, I mean, this is too late in the war. If this had come earlier, it might have made a difference, but... Yeah, Willem fighting the little proxy war here, letting them get some axes out. That means it's going to take more units to clean this up. Like, this shock axe can kill a lot of units with the 50% bonus defenses. A little late, but okay. Yeah, pretty much. If it had come earlier in the war, it might have actually been enough to swing things, but at this point, Cyrus is too dead. Looks like that axe died. I hope it wasn't dumb enough to attack out of the city. Really needs to get... Oh wait, no, never mind. One of the axes died, another one is still in there. Really needs to just get like one spear against these Kashyyyks and chariots. But like you can see that this force is having trouble. So the Dutch found a religion. If they adopt this, it could throw the diplomacy into a little chaos. Anyway, Stalin is, we know he's plotting war, so he should be building up a stack somewhere. It looks like it's here. So this could be going after the Americans, or it could be going after the Spanish. Seems like the Americans are the more likely target, though. Anyway, we're going to keep the focus here because this is where the ongoing battle is taking place. Yeah, looks like the just getting some axes and a spear in here have made the difference. Now it's like not a guaranteed overrun. Unfortunately, Willem adopts universal suffrage with the pyramids, which is the single least valuable single least valuable thing you could pick up. I'm sure he has no towns at this stage of the game. Oh, he's got one right here. He has one town, so he's getting like +1 production from that. Yeah, I don't quite get it, but the AI sometimes does stuff like that. He is going to get Hanging Gardens, I think. 3 turns. I know that Darius is close to, but he's 7 turns away. How about Darius? Is he thinking about a war? Nope. Willem? Nope. Doesn't look like it. How about Washington? Nope. Stalin sure is, though. Alright, looks like he's getting ready to launch. It looks like he's building up here, and I suspect he's going to launch against the Americans. Could be wrong, though. So Willem did build Hanging Gardens. But yeah, the Mongols are struggling to finish off the Persians at this point. Oh, no! Stalin had a different target in mind. He targeted Darius. Oh, totally whiffed on that. I thought that he... wow. I did not think that was his target. Okay, well, this is going to drag Darius down, and this is the reason why I thought Willem was more likely to win than Darius. Just a diplomatic situation. Stalin does not have construction for catapult, so he will not have an easy going of this. This looks like it's just going to be a war that's yeah. Darius has longbows, so this is bad for Stalin. This is likely to drag him down and make him it'll drag Darius down too, but it's not good for Stalin at all. There's no way this stack of swords and axes is going to penetrate 60% cultural defenses here, and it's just not going to happen. All right, so we captured an American barbarian city. There's another big attack coming in here. I think this is probably strong enough to punch through and take this city, but let's see. No, it wasn't. Man, the Mongols just cannot get through here. They need to pick up construction. They might need construction to get through these walls. Look at all these highly promoted units over here for Cyrus. All right, so Stalin walking around. He will like do pillaging and force more unit builds out of Darius, but I don't really see much success here. Now will Darius try to pull in other allies? Because he might. Remember, a lot of people are following that religion. Also, there's a chance the Americans could get involved. They don't seem to be plotting war right now, but I wouldn't say Stalin's looking that strong. Isabella is still building more monasteries, doing whatever the heck she's trying to do. Meanwhile, here comes the Dutch chopping out another wonder. I just wonder how long until they try to settle more of the north. I don't know. Or go to war with somebody. Actually running wealth in Amsterdam. Imagine the Apostolic Palace now. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, so Stalin just attacked and his units obviously all died because what were they going to do against longbows in a city with 60% cultural defenses? That was never going to work. Now, does Darius have construction? He does not. So Darius is unlikely to be able to make much progress either. I see he's preparing an attack down here, but well, this city's not that well defended. Maybe Izzy founds another religion because of course she does. Yekaterinburg needs more units. Nope, not enough. Just need to get another unit in there, but nope. So Stalin loses a city. So could Darius go on a conquest here? Again, he needs construction, but he's researching it, so it's in play for sure. Now, if Darius runs over Russia, he would probably become the favorite in this game. Yeah, this is the game of suicidal war declarations, pretty much. So Cyrus still holding on. I guess those of you who had Stalin first to die, it's still theoretically possible here. There were a couple people who had Stalin first to die because they didn't like his setup. Remember, every turn that passes, Willem gets closer to rifling. That's always been our saying is if Willem gets to rifling, he wins the game. And he is getting every turn that passes gets him slightly closer to that. Man, these brave defenders at Gordium just still holding out, although their numbers are thinning. Need to build fewer swords. Swords are useless in this situation. Swords are city attackers. You don't use them to defend. I don't know if this city can still keep holding. Needed an axe there, not a sword. There's a City Raider 3 sword that will definitely kill whatever it attacks. Yeah, if Darius builds some catapults, like he could legit take some territory here from Stalin. Stalin is also researching construction though, so he'll have the chance to punch back. This city always looks like it's about to be captured, but it keeps not falling. That City Raider 3 sword is pretty terrifying because it'll kill whatever it attacks, barring a really bad dice roll. Looks like it just killed an archer. All right. Meanwhile, yeah, there's no stacks kind of in play over in this war right now. And it is funny we've only had 2 wars the whole game thus far. It is amazing that the Mongols have. Well, I think the days of this city are numbered because look at this stack and this stack incoming. Gordium's been very brave, but I think its days are numbered because there's like 20 units outside the city now. Also, even if nothing else, the Mongols have construction are about to get construction tech, so yep, it falls, and now there's only one city left, and yeah, I don't. It was just too late. Needed to get irons earlier. With an earlier iron, it would have made a difference. Meanwhile, Willem is burning through the top of the tree. So here comes a stack. Now, does this stack have any catapults? Yes, it does. One catapult. Meanwhile, Stalin's stack up there does not have a catapult in it. So if it attacks, it's just a suicidal group. So yeah, this stack will probably be able to take that city if nothing else happens. And this little force is pushing forward on this city, which is mostly defended by workers. So yeah. So we've got an archer, a catapult, a spear, another archer, and 2 workers. Could this be the weird Genghis first, Darius second? It's in play. Oh, never mind. Probably not a good call by Darius, because he looked like he was about to be able to make some progress in this war, but he signed peace. I guess he didn't really want to be in that war. Definitely feels like a mistake on his part, though. Because it feels like he could have continued taking territory. I don't know. He's got a very strong capital, though. I think the biggest thing that's helping him is he's got more happiness resources hooked up. I guess the Dutch are now finally getting more happiness resources of their own because they just finished calendar. But like Darius, even though he's behind in score, he's been leading in tech as compared with Willem. And then we've got like the crazy pants Mongols running around on the... Yeah, that stack should be enough to capture that city. I think that'll be enough to finish off Cyrus. Alright, so that's our first elimination. I don't think a lot of people had Cyrus first to die. I didn't think he would do well, but I did not anticipate him being first to die. Willem builds a significant wonder in Statue of Zeus. Alright, let's see how many people had it. So Cyrus is our first to die. He has not been able to repeat the early, the Season 2 magic this year, or in recent years. All right, this was turn 1, 26. And the kill goes to Genghis Khan. Somewhat surprising, but he didn't even start the war, but he sure finished it. All right, first eliminated. Cyrus. Yeah, not a lot of people had this, apparently. 11 people had it out of about, we had like 11 out of 250, roughly. Not a super popular pick, let's just put it that way. Can be hard to predict in this game. All right. Now we'll have to see who the Mongols go after. Let's look at the diplomacy and see how they feel about others. Well, they like Stalin. They are cautious towards Darius. They like Willem. They're pleased. They don't really like Isabella, and they don't really like Washington. And they're cautious with Darius. It would be fascinating to see them take on Willem or Darius, because they're kind of like the game leaders. Izzy hates everyone, so she feels like her days are definitely numbered. Either she'll start a war or someone else will start one. She might not, because she still does not have any medals. She is such a sitting duck. How do other people feel about her? Well, annoyed. Let's see. Stalin's cautious. Darius is cautious. Washington likes her. Cautious. And Temujin doesn't like her. Is Stalin plotting war? Probably not. He just got out of a war, but we'll see. He is, in fact, plotting war. Okay, so who does he dislike the most? He really doesn't like Darius. He also doesn't like Washington. So it's probably one of them, but it could be someone else. How about Willem? Nope. He's happily just grabbing everything at the top of the tree. He's about to get the music grade artist here. He's actually about to pressure that city there. Well, I guess not. You have to hit 5,000 culture. He's not quite there yet, but he is building a settler, so I suspect he's finally ready to claim more of the north. And there's a barb city up here that someone will probably go capture. So yeah, the Mongols definitely are now one of the big dogs. Like the main civs right now are the Mongols and the Dutch and the Persians. They're the big ones. Who do the Mongols have open borders with? They have open borders with everyone except Izzy and Washington. Okay, so I was like, can they even like reach Washington? And the answer is yes, they can. All right, so we have no active wars at the moment. Oh, we should see if he's plotting war already. He is not currently plotting war. Stalin's the one who we know is plotting war, or looked like he was plotting war. Izzy is about to get longbows. That is the first unit she can build that will actually like not be complete and utter garbage. So if she gets attacked before she finishes that tech, she is super duper vulnerable. It sure looks like Stalin's making a play to go after her though. I mean, look at this. Like this just seems obvious he's headed in that direction. She's 3 turns to feudalism. How many unused? Oh, he's already at war with someone? Oh, he's at war with Darius. We haven't even seen the pop-up yet. Oh, wow. This is big. These are 2 of the strongest civs going at each other. Let's get the actual screenshot. Wow, he didn't wait long at all, did he? This is big. We're likely to see, I mean, either, so this is going to play out one of 2 ways, or I'd say 3 ways this can play out. Here's the optimistic Mongol scenario. The Mongols start overrunning Persian territory and start turning into what Alex was in the last game. I don't think that they can do that because I think some of the other AIs are a lot stronger than anyone was in the last game. But like it's the Alexander scenario from the last game. Scenario number 2, they fight to a stalemate. It just ruins both of them. I think that's the most likely outcome, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And scenario number 3 is Darius hits units that are more advanced and easily pushes back this attack and then starts taking Mongol cities. Note that Darius is about to get engineering, which is really important because it unlocks pikes and it also unlocks castles, both of which will be really strong against the Mongol units. Let's see what they look like on the power graphs. So Mongols are ahead, but not by an enormous amount. Again, look how vulnerable Spain is. Spain is is dead if anyone attacks them right now. Could Willem war deck? Oh, absolutely. Willem will plot it pleased, so he can go after anyone right now. He could attack these guys that he's on pleased terms with. He is more likely to attack Izzy or Washington, but he can plot it pleased, so any of these are fair game for him. I will say once again, this is setting up well for Willem, who still didn't even have construction up to this point in time. He's finally going to get it. Continues to build every wonder in sight. I think there's a decent chance he goes for the culture victory because he's going to have so many wonders in his territory. But for the meantime, we want to focus this. Yeah, so look, the castles are going up in the border cities, and that'll make it they'll just make it take infinitely longer to take down the defenses. This city is probably doomed, but we'll see if Darius can mount a counterattack here. Yeah, so this is where most of the action is. Well, it looks like he hit these units with catapults or something. Those pikes are not going to be easy opponents, though. Pikes are pretty good counters to Kashyyyks. I mean, if you hit with collateral damage first. So yeah, now the castle's up. I mean, Temujin's got a ton of units here. Like, just a ton of units. He also has a Kashyyyk with 26 experience on it. It's Combat 3, Medic 2. What the heck? So yeah, a lot of units. But Darius is going to put up the... I mean, Darius doesn't actually have that many cities is the thing. 1, 2... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8 cities, and the Mongols, I think, have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So it's 12 cities against 8. I mean, that does make a difference. Darius is going to guilds. So Darius will have he will have the unit advantage. Like he's already got feudalism, and he's about to pick up. He doesn't have civil service, so no maces, but he will be able to unlock knights here. That could be a big difference. Although there's a lot of elephants running around on the Mongol side. Don't forget they get all those extra promotions because they've got the special barracks, the Gur, or not barracks, stable. So they get extra experience on their mounted units. Hold on, let me just grab that. Buildings. So your normal stable is +2 experience points, but the Gur is +4 experience points, so you get that extra promotion. Looks like the Dutch are setting up to try to take that Barb city. I'm still surprised they haven't tried to settle the rest of this tundra up here. Do they have any settlers up here? I was just curious. Yeah, there's a settler right here, but hasn't actually tried to move up there yet. All right, anyway. Where's Darius's iron? I think his iron's in a pretty safe spot from what I remember. Oh, hello. Darius just attacked, and I think... No, never mind. Did he clean... I think he cleaned up a small stack there by moving out with these pikes. He also has immortals, because remember, double Persia in this game. All right, so he's got iron, or copper right... Yeah, he has an iron down here, so his iron's pretty safe as far as where it's located. Doesn't look like he'll have his iron cut off. Horses, does he have a safe set of horses? Yeah, his horses are pretty safe too. So yeah, I can understand that, because like if this was his only iron source, that would have been dangerous. Remember, Stalin was plotting war earlier too. So this force still has not attacked yet. Oh, they're shaping up for a humongous battle here, because there's like 25 units on both sides. Maybe Stalin stopped plotting war. He's not one of the stronger AIs. Nope, he's still apparently plotting it. Unfortunately, Isabella has reached longbows, so now she's not just like total dead meat. I don't know what this stack of immortals is doing. Can we see America's new southern... Yeah, America is wrapping down here. They're doing the Huayna Capac from a couple weeks ago, expanding down into the southern tundra. If these cities don't get swatted aside by Stalin in the long run, they'll definitely help. I mean, on Deity, it's like any cities are useful for the AI because it's so cheap for them to grow. All they really need is a granary and a lighthouse, and they're set to become useful. So yeah, if Stalin doesn't swat these aside, then they'll be useful contributors in time. I mean, they're not strong cities now, don't get me wrong. All right, defenses are almost down here. I would expect the attack to come in a turn or two. I have no idea if this is enough to take Tarsus or not. There's so many units, it's hard to say. I'm going to say it was not enough because there was a huge stack here that just got shredded. And the Persian units are still alive, so I'm going to say no, that is not enough to take that city. How about Willem? Is he plotting war, just out of curiosity? He is plotting war. Alright, so who does he not like? It seems like Izzy is the most likely target. He would easily swallow up Isabella's territory, because he definitely has catapults, and Izzy is extremely weak. And this is a size 19 capital with a lot of religious stuff in it. I don't know, we'll keep an eye on that. Stalin and Willem are both apparently plotting war. But it looks like the Mongol train of aggression has slowed to a stop here. Like they were not able to break this city, as far as I can tell. For all that we've seen, I think Darius is still ahead on the tech tree as far as compared to Willem. Let's see. So he has picked up guilds and now is going for banking. Does have most of the top of the tree missing though. How about Willem? These two are definitely the tech leaders. I guess they're pretty comparable, honestly. Like Willem doesn't have guilds or banking, but he has the whole top of the tree, which was skipped. So probably pretty comparable. Who's Willem's worst enemy? Good question. I don't know if he has a worst enemy. I don't think there's anyone he dislikes so much that he has a worst. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have a worst enemy right now. Yeah, this attack has clearly failed here at the city. All right, yet another wonder finished. Willem is sure building a lot of units. He's loading up on power, that's for sure. It sure looks like he's getting ready to attack somebody. Stalin's also loading up on units, although I'm less certain about who he wants to go after. He's really let the Americans settle this southern area. Can we see the power dip? Yeah, absolutely. You want to see what the Realms Beyond community has taken to calling shark fins? I guess it wasn't that big of a drop off. I thought it would be a larger drop off than that, but definitely did lose some units. As far as GMP, it does look like with Darius getting pulled into this war, it looks like the Dutch are starting to run away with it. I know some of this is culture, but still, Will just needs to grow his cities a little bit larger. He apparently, oh, he's working too many mines is the problem. Well, I don't know. It's cheap for the deity AIs to grow their cities. Yeah, these two are definitely throwing a lot of units at each other over here. Keep waiting to see if someone else is going to start something. But for the moment, we still just have that one war. We have not seen as many wars as I was expecting in this game. Genghis Khan's about to hit civil service, but I don't think he still needs metal casting and machinery in order to build maces. I think that the knights that have started showing up for the Persians are making a difference because knights should get odds on everything, everything except the war elephants. Remember, the Mongols do not have engineering, so they can't build pikes. So the knights should get odds on pretty much everything. Even war elephants don't get very good odds on knights, but like any other unit, the knights will just clean up easily. The vile Americans. Okay, since he's asking me to cancel deals with the Americans, and because he's got a stack right here. I mean, it sure looks like we can see where this next war is going to break out, right? Like, we've got a stack of 27 units here. So I'm just going to keep the camera here, and I'm kind of thinking we're going to see, yeah. So there we go, as expected. No surprise. Unfortunately, that city was auto-raised. Stalin was like, that city's garbage. I'm going to burn it to the ground. Although the whole notion of them clashing over these tundra cities is pretty hilarious. All right, that's war number 4. Kind of low on the war declarations. I don't think we're going to hit the 14 I predicted. Up, and that also happened. Well, we can tick it up another on the counter. But I don't think we're going to hit that many wars. I thought we'd have more in the early game. All right, well, Izzy is very dead. I don't see how she survives this. I think this is a smooth, fast conquest, and Willem clearly establishes himself as the runaway after this, but he still has to get it done. Right now, all 6 AIs are in a war right now. We have 3 different 1v1 contests going on. We have Willem against Isabella, we have Washington against Stalin, and we have Genghis Khan Temujin against Darius. Isabella's still running around with warriors. Well, she still has no... I mean, look at her resources. She still only has horses and stone. She does not have any source of metal. So she has longbows. I mean, that's helpful, but I don't see how that holds up. I just don't see how that holds up long term. I think, especially once catapults take the walls down, I don't see how she holds these cities. Okay, yeah. Request spam to enter all the wars. All right, meanwhile, Stalin is now continuing to make his move. The Americans seem unprepared. Willem just finished another shrine. I guess this stack is still a turn away. Look at this. So it looks like Darius has cleared his territory of Mongol units. Even though the Mongols are ahead on the scoreboard, Darius has got the tech advantage, and that means a lot. So he's gonna have to keep defending himself against... Yeah, I mean, these two are just throwing units away at each other at like a pretty fantastic rate. Oh, another city auto-raised. 2 cities auto-raised. Stalin's like, get that tundra trash out of my face. How dare you try to settle these cities? Those are garbage. I'm gonna burn them all down to the ground. No, it's actually unfortunate for him that he is losing units here and not strengthening his own position. He's just weakening Washington. But got to get rid of those cities somehow. What do the power bar graphs look like, just out of curiosity? Ooh, yeah, Mongols have been losing some units. Look at the Dutch just running away. And it looks like it's mostly been American units dying and not Russian ones. These two seem to be congregating. Oh yeah, what is the "you raised my city" diplomatic malice at? That's true. -5 for you raise one of our cities. We did have a game once where you get a malice every time you launch a nuclear weapon at someone's cities. We had a game once where it was like -150 from you have nuked one of our cities. Pretty hilarious. I can't remember when that was, but we did have that a number of years ago. Oh look, she's going to build the Colossus for Willem too. That's nice. Alright, so Barcelona lost half of its city defenses in one turn. And there's a lot of units there. Will be nice for Stalin. He'll actually get some tiles back here for Yaroslavl. It'll pop its Yaroslavl will pop its borders out to here once that disappears. Meanwhile, another Tundra city is queued up for elimination. And for the moment, this war seems to have stalemated. Both of the big stacks early in the war got taken out. Oh, that was the Victoria Kublai Khan wildcard game. That sounds familiar. Stalin's got another force over here, although the Americans are much better defended here. Now we might see Willem, if he takes this city, he could potentially swap into Christianity because he would then have a holy city for that religion. It's a possibility. Best unit for Willem is either elephants or city raider swords, one of the two. Yeah, he doesn't have. Willem was hitting the top of the tree super duper hard, and again, this reflects his tech preferences. Remember how we say Willem will not research rifling to save his life? Well, for the same reason, he was prioritizing like aesthetics and music and drama over, say, guilds at the bottom of the tree. That's just what he does. He has cleaned up the entire medieval era. He just hasn't gone for anything that actually gives you better units. But he's going to grab civil service here, and he will probably take guilds next or in the near future because guilds does have grocers, which I think he wants, and then he'll unlock knights. So he's pretty much taking the long route to getting better units, but they will arrive soon. And there goes Barcelona. And there's still a ton of Dutch units. So they'll have to heal up, but... Okay. I don't know if that's the philosophy religion or the divine right religion. Stalin is apparently going to grab this city too. Because there's one chariot left. Unfortunately, this will yet again... Oh no, I actually did hit size 2 at some point. I thought it would be another auto raise, but apparently it wasn't. Another Tundra city. Another Tundra ice ball. Meanwhile, over here, it looks like this war is still currently a stalemate between these two. Because I don't see any stacks like sieging up cities. So that was probably the most likely outcome of the war between these two, was just a stalemate. Yeah, I don't see how Izzy holds out long term. How much culture does Rostov have? Enough that, let's see. Yeah, Willem might have trouble holding Seville and Aryan if he takes these, which I suspect he will. But he'll definitely get Barcelona and Madrid, which will be major, major improvements. All right, anyway, it's turn 150. Let's do a quick overview. While I'm thinking about it, I'll switch us into the classical era. I think everybody's got monarchy tech by now. Bar graphs. So GMP, yeah, it does look like Willem's starting to run away with this. Now, again, a lot of that's culture, to be fair, but a lot of it's not culture, too. Manufacturing, not surprisingly, the Mongols have the most cities, so they're leading in that. Crop yield, Mongols have the most cities, although it's noteworthy that the Dutch are starting to catch up there. Power, the Dutch are the leaders. Izzy took a big hit there. Stalin is ahead in power, but not enormously so compared to the Americans. Culture, looks like a culture bomb was detonated somewhere. Let's see where. I think Rotterdam. Nope. Not that city. Then it must have been Nijmegen. I hope I pronounced it. No, not that city either. Where did he detonate a culture bomb then? The Hague? Where did he use a culture bomb? Oh, we'll just look at the top 5 cities list. Zapotec. It was in Zapotec. Where is that? Where is that city? It's a part. Oh, this city here. Why did he culture bomb this city? I guess it was being pressured by the. It must have been pressured by the culture of Spain. So this was the city here. Huh. Okay. Well, that was kind of a waste of the music grade artist, but whatever. Still got something out of it, I guess. Let's look at Beaker research then. So Stalin's at 170, Darius 140. Oh, Darius is only 143. That's low. Temujin 146. So Darius is researching at the same rate as the Mongols now. Isabella 129, Washington 1. So they're all pretty close, and then Willem's clearly higher. He's also running some gold on the slider right now too, so he can go higher than this. Like he's actually stockpiling gold right now. He must be upgrading some units. Oh, you know what it is? He just did civil service, so he's upgrading his maces into axes. So yeah, he's definitely at the. Yeah, Darius at 60, Mongols at 40. It's true, the Mongols have more room to improve. Like they have more room for improvement. So there was an American a Russian stack attacking New York, but it looks like that has failed because I don't see any Russian units over there now. That said, Stalin definitely has not had an easy path through this game. I don't know what these units are doing here. They need to wait for the stack to heal up to join them. It does seem like out of these wars, the most decisive at the moment looks like the Dutch hitting Spain, but we're still a ways away. Stalin could overrun the Americans. It's in play. He needs to get some siege units over here, though. This stack has no siege in it. Oh no, Temujin completed the Colossus. Wow. It's a nice pickup for him. He has a lot of coastal cities. He's got the double coastal wonders. Colossus plus Great Lighthouse. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's got 7 coastal cities. That's a lot. A lot of extra trade route income. I think that's what I honestly think this is what is propping up his economy. The Great Lighthouse, having so many coastal cities, because otherwise I think his economy would be quite a bit weaker. Also going for engineering. New force incoming against Darius, although Darius seems to have this under control. Yeah, he just cleaned his territory. Darius moves first, and then the Mongols move second in this war. All right, so there's trebuchets over here now. Darius note that this didn't stop Darius from building Notre Dame as a wonder while the war was going on. And he didn't even have stone to. Oh wait, is Notre Dame a stone or marble wonder? I think it's a stone wonder, right? Didn't have stone for it. Why do the Dutch own that lake? Which lake is that? I don't see the. Oh, this one. Yeah, that's a good question. Apparently, they have the most culture on this tile somehow. Okay, so here's how it works. It's because Old Sarai has very weak culture. Once Old Sarai hits 100 culture and pops its borders, then it'll start accumulating culture on this tile much faster. But for right now, the Dutch culture is actually stronger on that tile. Very weird, but yeah, just one of those things. It is kind of amazing, right? It does look like Izzy managed to get castles in play. So that means that this will take a while longer because he like bombarded with 2 trebs and they only did 8% of the defenses. So it'll take him a little while to siege this, but that's it. That will go down, and there's another treb coming over. How about Stalin? We haven't checked in on him. So he has some catapults here. I do favor Stalin in like a long grinding war here, although not if he's an idiot and attacks without taking out the defenses. Like he has catapults here. He needs to drop the defenses. Washington seems to be defending himself pretty decently though. And this war still seems to be a stalemate. So the only war that is like someone's making progress at the moment appears to be the Dutch against Izzy. So I thought the 3 leaders most likely to win were Willem, Stalin, and Isabella. And Isabella and Stalin are not keeping up that end of the bargain. So I'm kind of glad that I had Willem as my leader to win. Willem did just pick up guilds, by the way, so he will have knights now. Looks like he managed to pick up some extra trebs here because the defenses are going down. Yeah, he now has 5 trebuchets, so that's 20% per turn. So that's not going to last much longer. Stalin's got a little stack here. I don't think this is enough to take this city, though. Way too many horse archers. So that war doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And again, no one seems to be able to punch through over here either. Now, eventually Darius would, like, he will keep teching to better units. But, like, he's a long way from rifles. So I think this war will be stalemated for quite some time. Just keeps coming back to this is the only war where there's, like, a strong leader beating up a weak leader. Like, these two are both strong. Both Genghis Khan and Darius are strong, so the war stalemates. And Stalin and Washington are roughly comparable too, so like neither one of them gets a big edge in their war, and so it stalemates. This city did lose its city defenses, but like look at all those horse archers stuffed in there, and war elephants. I don't see these maces having much success. I don't know. Maybe if there's enough collateral damage applied, but I think there's just too many defenders in there. Like there's another stack up here, but I don't think that's going to have more success either. Willem finally went free religion. Yes, he did. It's his favorite civic. So, yeah, he's cautious with a lot of these leaders. He could definitely go after some of them. I wonder if he goes after the Mongols long term, because he does have a lot of border overlap with them, and that does tend to drive tensions between, like, look at the border overlap here. I guess he's got a fair amount with Darius, too. Oh, well. Darius has got a peace weight drag on their relationship, too. But let's see him deal with Isabella first. Madrid should be getting captured. Yeah. Just classic siege, take out the defenders. George Patton has died in combat. A lot of great generals being born. Wow, double great generals dying that turn. So yeah, he's off and rolling now. He still has room for more cities in the north too, which we'll see if he ever founds them. Too bad you can't build cottages on tundra. You can farm them, you can watermill them. See, he's building watermills on the ice, but you can't build cottages on them. Patton found the Jeep again. Oh God. Anyway, yep. So Izzy definitely is on her way out. Meanwhile, there's like raiding horse archers down here. Oh, that's right. I didn't even remember he was in a golden age. He's got this city under siege, but he has 2 catapults, so they can do all of 4% damage to the walls each turn. Going to be there for a while. Maybe it'll be enough to take that city, but I doubt it. Definitely need some more siege units. Temujin is about to pick up guilds, though, and knights will help him. Darius is wasting his time on Divine Right, so yeah, have fun with that, buddy. And over here, it looks like the Americans were attacking. And Vladivostok's not that well defended, but I don't think they're punching through castle defenses. This is an era where offensive warfare just is very difficult. It's not a good era for it. Waiting to see where the stack's gonna... Oh, here they are. They're actually... They're doing the smart thing. Rather than move through Isabella's territory, the Dutch units are just going to move through Russian territory where they have open borders and can just walk right through. Makes sense. Yeah, Izzy just has a bunch of longbows because it's literally the only thing she can build. So the Americans have a little stack here, but again, similar story. Just hard to see them making much progress. Too many castle walls on both sides. Not a good era on the tech tree for anyone to go on the offensive. Although, you know, there's enough Mongol units here that this could actually be rough for Darius. Have to get the walls down first, though. I'm taking 10% off each turn. Like, with enough collateral damage, they might actually be able to take this city. Maybe. Meanwhile, this stack is still... The Dutch stack... Yeah, here comes the Dutch Doom stack. Still rolling its way up. Yeah, that's a lot of units. 7 trebs, so that'll take down the defense. 34 units, 7 trebuchets. That'll take down the defenses pretty fast. The city is, drop by 18%. So there must be a lot. If all those siege units go in and do collateral damage, I think the city can be captured, even though there's a lot of units inside. I do think it can happen. How about this city? It went down to 79%, 44%. Wow. A lot of siege units over there. But this city is the one that would get attacked next, I think. 24%. Like we've seen the first Mongol knights. Let's see. Is the attack going to come in this turn or the next turn? Well, there was a big battle. A lot of injured units over there. A lot of units still left on both sides. That battle's going to continue another turn. So who's going to move first? This battle will move first, then we can go and cut to the other one. First, Darius will promote and reinforce, and then... Alright, looks like it held another turn. Which is more than this city can say. Can only really watch one of them because they're on the other side of the world. Alright, one city left. Alright, Washington and Stalin signed peace. Oh, and they gave back... Stalin gave back that city in the peace treaty. I don't know why, but he did. So, did not manage to make further gains there. Is Temujin beelining rifling? He probably is. I wouldn't be shocked. Nope, he's still too far away. Still, he will give it a high preference because of his militaristic tech preferences. All right. So the battle continues for this city. I'm trying to see what the defenses are. 7%. Like there's furiously fighting over this location. Like a lot of units are dying on both sides. I mean, there's still, unfortunately for Darius, a lot of these units are terrible defensively. Like the Trebs are useless on defense. And I don't think too many of those units are going to promote. So I think the Mongols are in fact going to get this city after a very long battle. Yep. Maybe this is a tipping point in their war. Like there was a lot of fighting over this spot. Like I said, I wonder if that's a tipping point in their war. The fact that they both basically threw everything into the battle for that spot, and Darius was not able to hold on to it. I have to see the bar graphs in like the aftermath of this furious fight. Yeah. Hold on, I'll advance one turn so we can see the results, but that might have been a tipping point battle. Let's see. Oof. Yeah, I mean, they both lost a lot, but it looks like Darius lost more. Doesn't feel like that went well for Darius, I have to say. I feel like it felt like he tried to make a stand there, and just it didn't work. So he may be, yeah, he may be on the verge of getting run over here. Meanwhile, we're about to see the end of the game here for Izzy, because she apparently did not have a castle in this city. If you don't have a castle, the culture just goes down super fast. Now, as I said, these cities are probably going to go over to Stalin long terms. This is actually good for Stalin because he already picked up Seville. That was already gifted to him. See, there it is. He will almost certainly liberate Arian as well. So Willem won't gain as much from that, but he did pick up Madrid and he picked up Barcelona, which are both very high quality cities. All right, well, let's mark it in the spreadsheet. You guys can see this, right? Okay, so Isabella not able to pull out a win here. So she was eliminated on turn 175. 8, turn 175. And Willem picks up the kill. I would say Willem is looking good as far as winning the game. But he is still a long way away, and we know he doesn't prioritize rifling tech, so he still will have, until he researches rifling, he doesn't have this sealed up yet. That's when we know he's in looking good. And for the moment, this war, all right, let's advance a turn or two. Yeah, Stalin got more wars from a war, he got more cities from a war he didn't fight than a war he did fight. He should have held on to San Francisco, not only because obviously he took the city in the war, but it also would have blocked the Americans from like expanding to the south. Remember, Stalin and Washington hate each other, so they will not sign open borders. And like if he controlled this spot, America literally would be unable to settle anywhere down here. Instead, now the Americans have a chance to put more junk cities down there. So yeah, expect to see this get traded over in a couple turns. It's completely surrounded by Russian culture, so unlikely that the Dutch could ever hold this. So nice for Stalin to pick this up. Yeah, this is actually a holy city, although Judaism is not spread anywhere in this game. So Willem's about to grab the liberalism free tech. We'll see what he gets. He's also building settlers, so I don't know if that means he wants to expand or whatnot. I guess we should be watching the one active war. Let's see what he picks up with the free tech. He went for economics, the free great merchant, it looks like. Now, how long will he delay getting rifling tech is the next big question. Yeah, we should have known from the Zhang Jian pop-up that he was trying to pick up a great merchant. All right, here's the next stack. Looks like it's headed for Pasargadae or Susa. Pasargadae, that makes more sense. Heading for the capital. It seems weird that that's the capital, but of course we had two Persias in this game, so. Oh, and he just triggered a golden age. Was that Taj being built? Oh, he's using this to build universities. Wow, he's going to be a long way ahead in tech. Just see what his research rate is right now. I know it's not fair because he's in a golden age, but yeah, he's 500 beakers per turn. No one else is going to be close to that. And again, it's not fair. He's in a golden age, but no one's really close. Genghis is only at 50% research, so he has the capacity to go higher. But this golden age is definitely going to accelerate him ahead, especially once he gets universities. He should go take this Barb City. I wonder if he will. I'm sure he's spotted it by now. Oh well, who knows? Nope, apparently he ran units over here. If he has double settlers just sitting here for some reason, who the heck knows? He could certainly afford more cities. Like, you would think you'd just dump a city on this tile here, pop the borders, work that fish tile, grab the furs. Who knows? Copper for Statue of Liberty. Ah, well. Already has copper, so I guess he's fine. Anyway, we do still have one ongoing war, so we should probably focus on that. Oh, we should check the diplomacy, too, so we can see, now that only 2 of the 5 remaining leaders are in a war. Oh, wow, the defenses are going down fast. Yeah, that's, I think Darius might just be dead here. So how did our remaining leaders feel? So Willem likes Washington, just cautious with everybody else. Washington hates Stalin, doesn't like the Mongols very much either, likes Darius. Stalin does not like Washington, just cautious with Darius, likes the other two. Willem's kind of doing his own thing. He doesn't really like anyone else right now. So he could kind of move in almost any direction. I mean, he could move in any direction because he will declare it pleased, but I don't see him going for Washington. Although I've seen stranger stuff in these games. Yeah, the big question is, how long until Willem researches rifling? Will he go to assembly line before he picks up rifling like he's done in past games? He's certainly in a strong position. I mean, look at this poor city. Does this have a chance to revolt? Yeah, 3% chance of revolt. It's starving right now. Remember how he had the lake tile? Well, guess what? Now he's got a lot more than just the lake tile. This city is probably not sustainable long term. It probably will either be gifted over or will just outright flip. Because there's just too much Dutch culture up there. What is that? What the? Is this a warrior versus catapult battle? No, the warrior walked off in the opposite direction. Looks like the Russians raised a Barb City. Oh no, captured a Barb City. Well, Americans grabbed this spot. which is wow. I mean, if you're going to talk about tundra fishing cities, look at this. Triple seafood resources and copper. That's a nice seafood city. So again, remember, if Stalin had held this city, Washington would not have been able to get down here. I mean, I guess he could have taken a settler on a galley, but AI rarely does that. So he could have cut off Washington to the south. And to no surprise, Arian was gifted over to Stalin. Pretty nice pickup for him, getting Seville and Arian from that war that he didn't even fight in. So, like I said, pretty nice. That said, I think the Persian capital is just going to get grabbed here because I don't see how Darius holds this. Yeah, he just lost his capital. So I think Darius is on his way out. Yep. So Darius slowly, like I said, I think that the struggle for Tarsus was the decisive moment, and the Mongols just pulled out ahead. Stalin plotting with anyone? Doesn't look like it at the moment. Washington? Nope. Willem? He is, apparently. That's pretty interesting. Again, he can kind of go in almost any direction. Stalin, Darius. I wonder if he would go for Darius. He certainly could snipe off some territory. Well, we'll see. He's also going to build Taj Mahal. Yeah, it's just what direction he wants to move in. Anyone's a valid target. Mongols destroy the Persians just like in real life, yeah. Now this city doesn't even have a castle, so the city just will fall very quickly. Somehow Stalin is the first to build the spiral minaret. I guess he went for divine right. I mean, the Mongols are stacking up a lot of territory. Their teching is nowhere near as good as the Dutch, but there is such a thing of just having a gazillion cities. Well, obviously he went for divine right because he built both of the wonders that were over there. So what I need is for Willem to get into a war with the Mongols and smash the Mongols, so then Stalin can take over second place. Willem's on printing press right now. Unfortunately, that is not going on to rifling. He doesn't even have gunpowder or military tradition. How does that compare to... Alright, so Temujin is missing a lot more attacks, but he does have gunpowder, so he can at least build muskets. And just finish the Taj Mahal, so... And he's building Oxford in his capital, which is... Wow, okay. That's pretty smart. Look at this capital in a golden age. 2 turning Oxford, jeez. Okay. That's pretty nice. Well, we just checked Stalin a couple turns ago, and now apparently he is plotting. Was it because he's building units? Oh yeah, he finished all his wonders, so he's probably back to plotting now. Just remember, Willem is not safe until he gets to rifling tech. Once he gets to rifling, he's safe, and he probably has the game won. No, don't attack Stalin! I need you to be 1-2! Ah. Well, at least it's another war. So Willem was apparently plotting against Stalin, right? He doesn't... Those two are at war, aren't they? Where's the Dutch stack, though? I don't see any Dutch units over here. Where's all the Dutch units? Yeah, our predictions. I would have expected him to have like a huge stack. Oh, here's the stack right here. 61 units. I guess it hasn't decided where it's going yet. It's got to be Yaroslavl, though, right? Yeah, okay. That's the stack there. Looking at power. I don't think Stalin can defend against this very well. This looks very one-sided. They're comparable in tech, but Willem is in a golden age, and he's one-turning knights out of like half his cities right now, and he just has way more cities total. The sad thing for Willem is he literally just gifted these cities to Stalin. Willem, I needed you to attack the Mongols, and then Stalin could have snuck into second place that he didn't deserve. Oh well. 61 units. Only 3 trebuchets, though, so they might be here for a while. Meanwhile, Darius is still getting carved apart. There's not a whole lot of the Persians left. Again, the other thing we really have to watch is how long until the Dutch research rifling. I know I keep making this point, but it's really a big deal. He just ignores rifling to such an absurd extent. Now, will this stack stop to bombard the walls? We could also see Washington pile in on Stalin from the other direction. That's also in play. All right, he did stop to bombard the defenses, but there's enough siege that I don't think it matters very much. Yep, and there it is, Washington declaring on Stalin, coming in from the other side, off the top rope. Here comes Washington. At least it ticks up that war declaration counter. So now Stalin has popped a golden age. This city is very dead over here. So everybody's now in a war. Yeah, Darius is definitely on his way out. Oh, what's this? Willem researching rifling! Oh my god! He's actually doing it, you guys! He's seizing control of the game! Apparently he's like, I'm not gonna lose this one. I'm gonna research rifling. Wow. Well, I mean, I think that kind of removes any chance of someone else winning, if he can get that, because he's going to be much further along in teching than anyone else. I don't know if the Mongols can. I don't think the Mongols can keep pace on tech. So the Americans do not have a big stack. Oh, wait, yes, they do. It's right here. Well, big stack in quotation marks. It's not a very large stack at all. I mean, there is always the potential that, like, Willem struggles with Stalin, and then like Genghis Khan completes the conquest of Darius and then hits Willem. Like that is in play, but it just feels far-fetched at this point. It feels like Willem really has a vice hold on this game. Willem is not turned 450 yet. Yeah. So like this siege at Yaroslavl is not proceeding very quickly, but meanwhile the Mongols are like down here in the tundra working on this. Still surprised Willem has not tried to settle anything in the tundra. He did finally expand borders enough to pick up this spot, but I really did think he would toss a city or two up here in the Barb Wilderness. For whatever reason, he decided he didn't want to go for that city. Wanted to go farm Stalin instead. So this is likely to be a slower conquest, but I mean, the rifles are here, so I don't really see what Stalin does. He's definitely not going to get to, like Stalin's not going to get to any unit that can defend against rifles anytime soon. So yeah. All right, 200 turns in. Looks like the world is increasingly turning into just the Dutch and the Mongols and no one else. So let's refresh the map. You know, we could there's a chance here, a remote chance. Let me just toss this out. Willem finishes off Stalin. Genghis Khan finishes off Darius. Genghis Khan and Willem get into a war that Willem wins. Washington sneaks into the playoffs in second place. That would be really sad, but it is a slight possibility. All right, let's look at some of our stats here. So yeah, okay, Willem is in a golden age. Like, I want to point that out. He is in a golden age. You can see, because you can see the double commerce on his on that tile there. So this is not a fair comparison, but at the same time, yeah. That's still a lot of GMP. Production, he's in a golden age, so that's hard to compare right now. Food, he's actually pulled ahead of the Mongols in food. Power, he's ahead and he's about to explode because he's just got rifling. Culture has apparently detonated multi-culture bombs in this game. Research rate, I'm sure, is equally ridiculous. Stalin 350, Darius 189, Darius is dying. 266 for Temujin, although he is running the espionage slider. Washington 243, and Willem's at 680. Also, he is that's at 50% research. He's running a low slider because he's going to be upgrading for the immediate future. He's got a whole bunch of old units to upgrade into rifles. Now, if he's smart, he'll pick up gunpowder. I guess he already did have gunpowder. He couldn't build rifles. He should pick up military tradition for calves. We'll see if he's smart enough to grab that. So this is his tech tree. Temujin is, I mean, he's headed down rifling, but he's missing, I mean, he doesn't even have drama, music, or philosophy, so it's not really that comparable. Whereas, like, Willem's already finished democracy and corporation. So, yeah, he is almost a full, he's like half an era to a full era ahead. And in comparison to, like, Washington, well, Washington also be landing rifling. How about Stalin? Stalin picked up military tradition. Needs gunpowder, though. He can't build cuirassiers until he has gunpowder. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. Willem could also speed up his war by a lot if he researched steel and picked up cannons, which would just slice right through the defenses of these cities. Well, he's on chemistry, so he might be headed in that direction. Well, he's setting for scientific method. He's going for communism. Okay. Would be much easier to win this war if you picked up cannons. All right, so yeah, Darius continues to collapse. And the Mongols will pick up a lot of nice territory from Darius. The Dutch are running through using Darius's roads to advance on Russian cities.
It is entirely seemly for a young man killed in battle.
As the observer Civ discovers bronze working.
In his death, all things
here they are.
fair.
He didn't bother to heal up this stack. Oh, Stalin was in a golden age too. So is Washington making any progress over here? I guess he's tying up some Stalin units, but it doesn't seem like he's doing a whole lot. He's just kind of there. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't pick Stalin in this game. I just didn't think the game set up as well as a lot of people believed. Like, I did think Stalin had a real chance to win, don't get me wrong. I just didn't think it was as much of a slam dunk as some people were thinking. Now there's one trebuchet in this stack, so I really hope he doesn't just stop and try to kill these cities with one treb. He still doesn't have military tradition either, Willem, so he can't build cavalry. He can build rifles, but not calves. Did I take a screenshot of the world on turn 200? I think so. Okay, it looks like he just attacked with all these knights instead of trying to siege. There's more units coming in from this direction, but like there's not a formal stack. So Willem's not attacking as intelligently as he could. And now with one trebuchet, he has one trebuchet. One. So he might be there for a while. Just as this stack only has 3 trebs. But Temujin's been pretty efficient about making his way through this. Again, it is, like, Willem, I guess, is not quite as far ahead as he could be. He's still upgrading. That's why his research rate is slow. He's still upgrading units and will be for some time yet, because he's got a lot of longbows that he has to turn into rifles. Up 57% defenses. Oh boy. Needs to get more. Up 55%. Anyone else think that castles are absurd in this game? Yep, needs more siege. Has this humongous advantage. Oh, here we go. Well, this is a much larger stack. Does not appear to have any siege in it, so it'll just overrun this spot. He's lucky he has no siege in this stack. I'm not seeing any at least. So this will just overrun this city of longbows. Or at least I think it will. Yep. Retaking that city that was captured earlier. Oh wait, no, not that city. It was Seville that was taken earlier. So double city captures this turn. Susa captured and Rostov captured. as the dying civs continue to go on their way out. Yeah, there's only 2 Dutch cities, or not Dutch, only 2 Persian cities left. This Russian city down here might prolong this war for a little bit. But as long as it's rifles attacking and not those old maces, it's pretty one-sided. Willem, please get out of universal suffrage. Well, he has enough towns now that it might actually be starting to be useful. Let's see, is he still in universal? Yeah, he's still in it. I mean, he was getting closer to more towns. I think is that his favorite civic, just out of curiosity? No, his favorite civic's free religion. He really should. He kind of hurt himself by being in universal suffrage for the whole game. If he had been in representation instead, he would have been in much better shape. But he chose not to. He could be even further ahead than he is, in all honesty. Anyway, the Mongols have just picked up rifling tech, so now they will also be upgrading to rifles, and they actually do have military tradition, so they'll be, or no, they don't. They can still build knights, so they don't have it yet. Willem just went emancipation to grow his cottages faster, so that would synergize with universal suffrage. He really needs to pick up military tradition so he can build calves instead of knights. Like I said, this has not been the most efficient conquest from Willem, but he just has such a huge edge. He should be able to overrun these cities regardless. Now he's putting together another stack here. Like this one has 41 units in it. Meanwhile, the Americans are settling the tundra in this deep south. Apparently, Washington really likes working fishing villages. And here comes the Mongols towards the last remaining Darius cities. So like right now, Genghis has to backtrack to pick up like music. Oh, that's right. Music's a prereq for military tradition. So yeah, he has to go grab that. I think this stack can just overrun Seville without any trouble. Yeah. Just ran over the city like, all right, seriously, enough with the request spam. Just ran over it like it wasn't there and kept right on going. Like this city's not very well defended. Washington is still working on this city. He will probably get this. It's not, like I said, it's not very well defended, but I suspect most of the cities will go to the Dutch. And the Mongols, do they have more siege coming up? Mongols are kind of getting trapped with the siege here at Bactra. See how much XP the Khan's capital is sticking on his calves? Yeah, because of all the great generals he's probably stuffed in there. Yeah. All right. Not a lot. He just has 1 military instructor. So let's see. He's got barracks, Gur. So that's 3, 7, just 9. Is he running a XP producing? All right. So vassalage gets it, and he has vassalage theocracy. Okay. So his mounted units are starting at 13 XP. Oh, hey, look, America did something in this game. Way to go, Washington. So he actually gets 11 XP mounted units in all his cities. So he gets the triple promotions on all of them, which is super nice. Because he's got, so you get 3 from the barracks, then 4 from the Gur gets you to 7, and then 2 more from vassalage, 2 more from theocracy, 11. So yeah, it's that's very, very strong. You have like either combat 3 or like combat 2 pinch immediately out of the gate. Your calves, if your calves combat 2 pinch, it effectively has what, plus 45% strength against gunpowder units. It goes from 15 up to like 22-ish strength. That's why rifles don't really counter cavalry. If you get pinch calves, they do just fine against rifles. Anyway, enough of a diversion there. So there goes another city. Now now that he's got a stack of mostly rifles, he's kind of overrunning these cities pretty quickly now. So what do we have left? We have 5 Russian cities left in the core. We have 2 Persian cities left, and then we have that Russian city that's deep in the southern tundra. It does feel like we get these games where the Dutch are against the Mongols a lot. Chat was saying it was, oh, 9 stack generals? Oh. Apparently I missed this. Okay. So he has 9 great generals in his capital, not one. He has 9 of them. He has so many the game can't display them all. Okay. That's incredible. So he has 18, and then he has 11 from just natural stuff. So he has 29 XP calves starting. 29 XP calves starting out of his capital. That's absurd. That's almost enough for 5 promotions. What is it? So you get them at what is it? It's because you get the third one at 17. No, you get what is it? It's 2, 5, 10, 17. What's the next? What is it? The next one after 17 that you get the next promotion? No, so he gets 5 promotion units out of the gate. Jeez, 26. Okay, so yeah, he gets 5 promotion units out of his capital. That is absurd. I don't recall seeing 9 settled great generals in a city before. It's honestly kind of excessive. He'd do better to just put. Well, I don't know. I guess you could do some fun stuff since he's aggressive. He can actually start with commando gunpowder units. Now he won't do that because it's the AI, but he actually could start with commando units out of the gate because you get combat 1 for free for being aggressive, and then 5 promotions after that. You need 6 for commando if I remember correctly. So free commando units out of the gate. You just run around on the enemy units' roads. Commando is useless against the AI. It is. It doesn't do anything. Okay, the Dutch are like capturing cities so fast now I can't keep up with them. I guess they're just like walking through with their huge stacks of rifles now. And Stalin's production is falling now that he's lost so many cities. He can't replace his units. Yeah, I was hoping Willem would fall on Temujin and then we'd maybe get backdoor Stalin in the second, but it hasn't happened. Ah, well, not Stalin's game. So it looks like we're going to be down to 3 AIs pretty soon. And really just 2, because Washington's like, whatever. Also, it doesn't seem like we're going to get that many wars. I'm hoping we can get up to at least 9, so I can score 1 point in that category. But I wish I'd picked a lower number. The thing that threw me off was I thought we'd have more early game wars, and we didn't. We had a peaceful early game. All right, so yeah, this stack should just attack. They don't have. There's the fact that Willem is not putting siege units in his stacks is actually really helping him because he's just running over these cities instead of wasting 25 turns bombarding down the defenses. He should just attack Moscow and take it here. And I think he just killed a great general too, for whatever that matters. Yeah, not Timur. So yeah, Moscow down. Finishes the Kremlin, because why not? He has almost all the wonders in this game right now. Well, the Americans are actually sieging this city. We'll see if they get it or if a big Dutch stack sweeps in and picks it off. Well, before we get to that, though, it looks like this is it for... Yep, the Americans did get it. So that's 2 cities the Americans have picked up. All right, so that's 2 civs, or now we're down to 4 civs, and I'm sure we'll be down to just 3 soon. So let's mark it down on the old spreadsheet. Here we go. So Darius, I thought that your demise would come earlier in the game. It did not happen. If it hadn't been for Cyrus intervening, I do think that Darius... I still think the odds were highest for Darius to be first to die, just due to the way that the diplomacy shook out. But Cyrus's suicidal move at the beginning of the game delayed the Mongols. I'm really surprised how strong the Mongols got. I thought that they would just attack ineffectually. I guess the easy conquest of Cyrus just got them off and rolling. Anyway, so this is 2 kills now for Genghis Khan, who is having by far his best game in Survivor history. And Darius is the one who's out on turn 224. Game 8, turn 224. Okay. Back to Civ 4. Oop, back to Civ 4. All right, so it's boiling down to, it sort of looks like Willem's going to win. It's a much bigger question about who gets second, and that might seem silly. It's like, well, wait a minute, aren't the Mongols just easily going to take second? Well, Willem, I mean, the Mongols are just so aggressive. I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Mongols try to pick a fight with the Dutch, and then they lose, and then they get steamrolled. Just look at the diplomacy for Temujin, by the way. So he's friendly with, yeah, he does not like Washington. He does not like Willem at all. So don't be surprised if there's a war between them. And I don't think that would go well for the Mongols. Willem is very close to hitting. Now, at the moment, Willem does not have a military edge, but he's close to. I mean, he still doesn't have military tradition because what the heck? But look, he's about to hit railroad, steam power, steel railroad, and like he surely is not too far away from assembly line. The minute he hits assembly line, there's no chance of the Mongols being able to beat him, because then he would just have factories for absurd production. And he already has more cities and more territory. Even at the same tech level, I don't think the Mongols can win a war against them. But with the Dutch being at the next generation of military tech, which is not far off, they have no chance, I think. So this stack should just overrun this city. There's no siege in it again. Willem moves last in the turn order, so we always have to like wait for his units. Yeah, he's already on steel, and like cannons would make a big difference for any siege situation. Meanwhile, the Americans are like, we're still here. We did get to rifling. We've got ice ball fishing villages. Though why they didn't settle a city like right here is beyond me. Why would you pick this spot and not a spot where you can work the like even if you just put the city here, you can work the crabs. It's really crazy why you would pick a spot that has no food bonuses at all. At least this city is pretty good. A lot of unhappiness though. Lack of emancipation is hurting. Does he an emancipation? He's also suffering from lack of emancipation too, but he's got enough happiness that it doesn't really matter. Anyway, on we go with the ongoing destruction of Stalin. Here comes the Americans. I will laugh if Washington gets the last blow and gets kill credit, even though he's done almost nothing the whole game. There are 3 units in this city, so if the Americans just attack, they're going to take this easily. But no, the one random knight takes the city. Wow, that's got to suck for the Americans. Just this random knight wanders in and grabs it. All right, 1 city to go. This barbarian city is the only thing that's still keeping them alive. All right, so it'll just be a couple turns to watch the humongous armies walk down there. Here they come on the roads. Is Temujin plotting? Good question. He is already plotting war. That did not take long, did it? That sure didn't take very long. Will Stalin survive to see this see a war break out with Temujin? Guess we'll see. Yeah, Willem's also going for railroad. Like Temujin does have decent research, but like look how much stuff he's ignoring. You might be like, oh, steam power, he's about to hit assembly line. It's like, well, I mean, he's on these same techs, but look, he does not have anything on the top of the tree. So like he's missing philosophy. Divine right's optional, but he's missing philosophy, nationalism. He actually needs to go philosophy and nationalism before he can get military tradition. So he has no cuirassiers or cavs and won't anytime soon. No constitution, no democracy, no education, no liberalism, no economics, no corporation. He's just all military. He has nothing economic at all. Whereas Willem has all those techs, like literally all of them, except for some reason, military tradition. Military tradition is optional. You do not need to research it. It is a dead-end tech. It would be smart to research it because then he could build cavalry, which are really good units. But instead he's going for railroad, and hopefully he'll pick up assembly lines soon. So yeah, there's like this temporary window where the Mongols and the Dutch are close in military tech, but it's not something that's going to last for much longer. Still don't know if Temujin's plotting to go after the Dutch or if he's plotting to go after the Americans. It could be either. Like, for as well as the Mongols have played in this game, I wouldn't be shocked if they end up not advancing to the playoffs because they pick a fight with the Dutch, like idiots. All right, here comes the stack. Looks like the Americans are one tile ahead, but the Americans have trebuchets. I wonder if they'll stop to bombard for a turn. We'll see. There goes all the workers scurrying back into Hun. Apparently they... Okay. I guess the AI really wanted to avoid attacking across a river. Now, they were all on this tile. You would think the logical tile to move on would be this one, and then just attack. But no, they all moved up here and then to this tile. I guess they just wanted to avoid crossing the river or something. So they all moved on here and pillaged. So Washington does move before Willem. So is this going to be a Washington kill? No, Willem deservedly gets credit. That is a more just outcome, let's be honest. All right. So turn 236. Yeah, Russians destroyed. All right. As we could see was coming. All right, Stalin, big favorite in the picking contest. Couldn't get it done today. There we go. Couldn't get it done. I'm sorry. We will not see a repeat of our champion. All right, turn 236. 8. Turn 236. And Willem picks up another kill. So Willem's got 2. So again, the whole kill thing, I know it's a little arbitrary, but it mostly produces pretty accurate assessments. Like in this game, Temujin has 2 kills, Willem has 2 kills, who are clearly the dominant leaders, those two. Oh, what's Willem doing? He's just revolting this turn. Okay, I was like, what's going on with his research there? All right. Let's see if he's still plotting. I suspect he is. Still plotting. Oh, we're only at 7 wars. This is going to be a very low war counter game. Wish I'd been at like 8 or 9. All right, so yeah, there's yeah, nobody likes the Mongols. Look at this. Look at all these annoyed faces. Both of these leaders are annoyed, and he's annoyed with both of them. So we are not going to get a peaceful outcome to this game. Which is a shame because I have spaceship for my victory condition, but it doesn't seem like we're headed for spaceship. It seems like we're headed for domination. I mean, Willem's about to finish Statue of Liberty. It just... We'll see how long it takes until... That did not last very long, did it? Okay. So this work might end up continuing until Willem hits domination. Only 8 wars so far in this game. Well, had just enough time to finish off. Let's pause here and look to see what the bar graphs look like. Not that there's a lot of people still left in this game now. All right, so the Dutch, leaving aside the one turn where they were in anarchy, are so absurdly far ahead in GMP, it's not even close. Also ahead in production. Food, at least, is relatively close. Power is also relatively close. And culture is not close. So yeah, I mean, like I said, these two are pretty comparable for the moment. It's more so that the Dutch are about to grab combustion, and then after that, there's really almost nothing they can research aside from assembly line after that. Whereas Temujin has like a lot of stuff he needs to research. So yeah, the Dutch, there's just not a lot of places they can go afterwards after they grab combustion. Assembly line is by far the most likely target, but I guess could go the biology medicine route. I mean, that's possible. Doesn't seem like a very smart call, but we'll have to see what Willem's thinking. Where is the big stack for the Mongols? They must have a huge stack somewhere. I mean, the battlefield's so large at a time like this. It's hard to know where they're prioritizing. I mean, here's a decent sized stack. Also, the Dutch already have railroad, so they're going to be moving units around faster. It is kind of hilarious that both sides are still using knights right now. I think that a lot of the Mongol units are over here. By the way, how close is Willem to dominate? He's already at 42% land area. So, oh, here we go. Here's the main stack, 75 units. This is where the main Mongol stack is located. Oh, and the Dutch can build dikes now too. Jeez, forgot how good that is. Their unique building is crazy. Every coastal city becomes a Moai city. That's right. Yeah, I don't think this is going to end great for the Mongols. They'll do okay in the beginning of this war, but I think as the time goes on, it's going to swing against them. I could be wrong. I just think the tech edge is too big for the Dutch. Still, first blood to the Mongols. There's also an attack being launched here on Rotterdam. Like, I think it'll take the Dutch a little while to clear their territory. I mean, I'd love it if they signed peace and Willem went to space, because that's kind of what I was predicting, but well, look at this. This city's not very well defended either. That said, it looks like that didn't go anywhere. Willem decides to research biology instead of assembly line. Okay, buddy. Still hasn't picked up military tradition. He needs to get through assembly line first. Once he clears assembly line, then he's got a chance after that. Let's see how the early trading is going in terms of power between these two. Pretty even thus far. I don't see a huge edge for either side. I wonder if Washington would get involved. If he does, he doesn't plot war at please, so he would only declare on the Mongols if he did join the war. Anyone fighting down here? Nope, looks like that's being ignored. Oh, looks like we got a doggy coming down here. Hey, how are you, Sid? You wanted to say hi? Let me put him on camera for you. You a good boy? No. We're still finishing up with this game, buddy. It's not time to go outside yet. You're a good boy, but we're still going on with our game. You want to lay down on the blanket here? There's a blanket down here for him. Here, you want to lay down on the rug? Come here. Cool. He's a good boy. We're actually probably not that far away from finishing, because it feels like we're in the end game stages here. All right. Also, sounds like our little Roomba has also potentially gotten stuck. I was like, please come help me. I'm a turtle turned upside down on my shell. All right. So far, just only the one city's traded hands. I certainly wouldn't mind seeing this get closer to turn 300. I wouldn't mind a peace treaty between these two either. It would give a chance for more wars to tick up on the counter, as opposed to like a war that just goes on. So a lot of grenadiers on the side of Genghis Khan. Willem is now on electricity. He seems determined to avoid his techs that would help him militarily. So he's going for electricity. Willem has calves. Oh, he did finally pick up military tradition, so that's a nice boost for him. Can Genghis win domination? No. No. He's not even close. Willem has almost 50% land area, so no. Definitely not. Yeah, he's researching electricity now. I'm still struggling to understand why he's not going here. Electricity does open the path to industrialism, but for the moment it looks like they're just going to keep trading units at the same generation of military tech, even though Willem could be a generation ahead. I mean, he's on electricity when Genghis Khan's on philosophy, so a little bit of a difference there. Now, there's like two fronts in the war. There's like a front over here, and then there's another front like down here, where like there's this salient into Dutch territory. Also, bizarre place to build ironworks. I don't know why you'd pick this city. It's not like the production capacity is bad, it's just strange. Also, Dutch are running a pretty big gold surplus right now for some reason. I guess they're still upgrading some units somewhere. Oh, you know what? They were upgrading their knights into calves. That's why. Temujin still does not have military tradition either. He's headed in that direction, but okay. Wait, that city was finally taken by the Americans of all people? Okay. Sure, alright. So the Dutch finally put a city up here, and then what do? They let the Americans take this spot. Okay. That's just a whatever moment. Okay, sure, whatever. While we're here, let's toss this into the medieval era on music. Just for fun. We'll get the very atmospheric music that does not match the World War going on at all. All right, so Willem, after screwing around for a while, is now finally on assembly line. Washington's like, yeah, we're going to make this happen. I'm going to trigger a golden age. So I suspect it's just a matter of time. Also, apparently, remember, Willem has the statue of Zeus, and it looks like there's horrible war weariness right now because the whole war has been fought in Dutch territory. Turn 250. So it looks like the war weariness is really bad. Oh my god, look at this. 14 unhappy faces. Also, no emancipation either. Ugh. He's actually having to run 20% on the commerce slider because the war weariness is so bad. This may actually induce Genghis Khan to sign a peace treaty because his war weariness is completely out of control. I mean, his cities are really, really struggling. How much war we can see here how bad the war weariness is, can't we? War weariness 745. Yeah, 745 points of war weariness. That's a lot. So yeah, not great there. I wouldn't be shocked, and he can't get into police state yet because he doesn't have the tech for police state. So that's definitely going to hurt. And as I said, I wouldn't be shocked if they signed a peace treaty, just ending the war after that bad. I also wouldn't be shocked if they kept fighting either. But it feels like we might be starting to see a swing towards the Dutch now. Hey, at least I'll get 1 point for. At least I'm basically in the range of getting 1 point. Also, you can see that the power bar graphs are starting to diverge, and factories are about to pop up across Dutch territory. So if this war continues, I think the Mongols are going to get grounded into the earth pretty quickly. Dutch are already at 45% land area. Also closing in, like they're not, if he were to turn on the culture slider, he's also probably only 50 to 60 turns away from a culture victory. But like you're starting to see the things swing. So like I said, I don't know if Willem would be willing to sign peace or not. Like I said, I wish he would sign peace and go to space because that's the victory condition I picked. I think Willem, if it were just up to him, I think he would go to space. The problem is the Mongols started this war. So yeah, this is where the cities were recently changing hands. Still a lot of oh geez, there's 39 rifles here. Yeah, this seems to be where the main Dutch stack is, 39 rifles. And now they're adding, yeah, and this city's about to fall here too because there's only one rifle left. Not that this is a sustainable spot to hold out anyway. Completely surrounded by Dutch culture and with these mountains even shielding it off from the rest of Mongolia. So, as I said, not really a sustainable position anyway. So now Willem's just pushing his way through here. It is theoretically possible that Willem could win a diplomatic victory because Washington might be willing to. No, it's not high enough. I was going to say maybe Washington would vote for him, but I don't think so. If he pulled Washington's vote, he would actually win in the UN, but I don't think Washington's quite likes him enough. Keep an eye too on the difference between their scores. It's certainly possible that Willem or that Washington could pass Genghis Khan in score. Still don't know why Genghis Khan was so eager to fight the Dutch. Seems like a mistake to do that. I'm still hoping that Washington will declare war on the Mongols because that would get this to 9 wars and I'd get 1 point for it. But that's probably not going to happen. I don't think we have that many turns left in this game. Unless they sign a peace treaty. If they sign a peace treaty, that would be different. Somehow this city has not been captured yet. Like I said, I don't know quite what. All right, so the factory looks like most of the Dutch cities are finishing factories now, or have either have finished or are finishing them. The main Dutch stack is down here. Yeah, this seems to be where the largest stack is, I think. That's why I'm mostly keeping the focus down here in the south. It seems to be where the cities are getting rolled up. Willem's in the we'd rather win the game mode, aka going for domination. Yeah, it does appear to be only cannons hitting this, no actual units that can kill defenders. And there just don't seem to be a lot of. I don't see like Dutch units attacking cities. Like this feels like it could be easy to take, but I don't see any stacks. The only place I see stacks at all are down here. So we'll see how quickly Willem can do this. I suspect a lot of us are hoping he'll take a little bit longer so we can maybe score some more points. I wish I'd picked turn 300 instead of, what did I pick, 310? I wish I'd been earlier. Although I think if this actually did go to space, I think I'd be right on the money in terms of the time. Just looks like it's headed for domination instead. All right. Willem just finished industrialism, so now he can build tanks. So if it was bad before, it's about to get much worse once he gets those tanks in play. Meanwhile, Temujin is still stuck on grenadiers and calves and rifles, whereas... Oh, there we... Hey, one more war. Get it up to 9. I'll take my pity point for having 14 and being within 5. I'll take it. Willem's also on mass media. He has destroyers out there pillaging all the fishing nets too. I mean, these cities are just starving down because they're suffering so badly from war weariness. Man, the Mongol economy is just totally in the trash right now. I should look at the actual research comparison right now. Yeah, he's only making... Temujin's only getting 390 beakers per turn. He's like at Washington's level, where Willem's at 2,000 beakers per turn. It's pretty ugly. Although I guess Willem hasn't actually taken that much territory yet. He's still only at 47%. He has a ways to go yet for domination. Washington with the rolling up with the trebuchets here at Bactra. We'll see if Washington can take a city. Meanwhile, it's like, hey, don't mind these Dutch tanks rolling in. That said, Willem is burning through the tech tree very quickly. I do think he's not that far away from a spaceship win. And like not getting that territory is a little bit less territory for the Mongols. It legit looks like Washington is going to get second place now, barring something weird happening. Oh man, Washington. Does he deserve second place? Probably not. It feels like Temujin deserves the spot, but hey, he also was suicidally dumb enough to attack the Dutch, who now just went into a golden age, so WTF. Is now up to almost 3,000 beakers per turn. Again, if Willem just gets serious about attacking, he can run over them, the Mongols, so quickly. But it feels as though he's kind of content to just keep pushing tech. He did just build the UN. I mean, at some point, these tanks are going to get to the front line and start killing stuff. But he's still only at 49%. That's, does have a ways to go. And it's not the Dutch who are taking these cities. It's the Americans who are taking them. All right, so yeah, Willem does become Secretary General. Again, have his relations improved? I still don't think this is high enough to vote for him in the UN, but it's at least getting in play now. If that mutual military struggle keeps increasing, he might actually vote for Willem, and then it would just be a Diplo victory, which would be hilarious. Yeah, that's what I was looking at too, Frozen Roy. I was looking at that. So yeah, Washington capturing these cities is really smart on him, because it means that he is getting more points closer towards that second place spot. Maybe the Americans will conquer the Mongols at this point. Because I keep waiting to see like some huge Willem stack. Right, he's got some tanks here. So it looks like Old Sarai is going to get chomped up. Looks like he's putting together a new force over here. Yeah. So that city is very dead. That's not going to grab any more territory, but... Oh, check out the undefended plain just hanging out here. This is why you have to guard these. Oh, wait, another Persian city got taken out? What the heck is going on here? Three cities taken by the Americans. Go Washington! Like, where did this come from? Pretty crazy. And Washington's done it. He's moved into second. Wow. So still 50% land area, although it will go up quickly when some of these get taken out. All right, can we get to turn 285? Because that would get me within 25 turns of the finishing date. Can we get 15 more turns out of this game? Wait, did Willem just turn on the culture slider? Because he's at medicine 64 turns. He's either upgrading or he turned on the culture slider. Oh my god, I think he did. I think he just turned on the culture slider. What is this? So now, of all moments, now he's decided to go for culture. Okay. Alrighty. He is, yeah, well, he'll win by domination before that, so... someone's going to go over the domination limit before that, because he is not that far off. I don't get it. Okay, well, that's crazy. Maybe he's not eager to win this. All right, well, we just ran over Samarkand. That didn't get him a lot of points, though. Man, things are collapsing here for the. I'm wondering at this point if the Mongols can even survive long enough to make it to the end of the game. I mean, I think they do, because I think as the Dutch take cities, they pick up enough territory to win by domination. But if the Americans keep taking cities, that's not guaranteed. Willem just doesn't seem that interested in really pushing for a win here. He just seems like he wants to keep building for whatever reason. Although I guess another city on the border, Tarsus, is getting smacked. Yeah, keep getting us closer to turn 310. So anyway, global free religion. Kind of a weird ending to this game. It's like Willem clearly has this in the bag and yet also is like hesitant to finish off the game. He's slowly creeping up there. 53% land area, but I mean, he sure hasn't exactly had a killer instinct here as far as capturing these cities. We've had like this weird sequence of Washington capturing cities. I mean, he's slowly getting there. I really don't think this will get to... I can't see this like getting all the way to culture. It's too many turns left. Yeah, he's trying to drag out the game so we get more points on the turn counter. Yeah, thank you for that, Willem. Can we just get 10 more turns so I get to turn 285? The Americans are helping out too. If Willem had taken these three cities, he'd already be close to... Oh, and another city. You know, if Willem had taken these cities, he'd actually be close to domination. But instead, the Americans are grabbing them. And that's, you know, territory not going to the Dutch. They do have tanks rolling forward now, so... That was like a huge column here. So we're getting closer. It will be a domination win, unless Willem signs a peace treaty, which I can't imagine him doing at this point. 54%. This spot's worth quite a bit of territory, though. Yeah, so now he's really pushing forward. Oh, why didn't I write turn 305? Why? Imagine if Washington eliminated Genghis. Yeah, that would be amusing to say the least. It's like, why didn't I put turn 305? 55% land area. Because we're going to hit turn 280. I just don't know if we hit turn 285. %. We had another city capture here. Come on, give me 6 more turns. Washington, I need you to take this city. I need Washington. Yeah, it could be close as far as whether Temujin survives for the wildcard game or not. I think he does. I think he has enough cities remaining that he makes it there. All right, 5 more turns, 56%. No cities went down this turn. This city will fall on this turn, though, as more UN resolutions get voted through. Fortunately, this one's not worth too much in terms of land. And New Sarai got captured by the Dutch. 57%. Come on, Washington, you move first between these two. We need Washington to grab this one, not Willem. All right. Just delaying a couple more turns. Washington's actually kind of vultured a decent amount of territory down here. All right. I think we get 3 more turns out of this game. I think. Boy, there's not a lot of territory left for the Mongols, is there? This might be the next city to fall. But although, wait, no, they'll wait 1 turn. Because there's like 1 infantry in that stack. All right. But yeah, it's very one-sided. Here comes more Washington units. There's just nothing left for Temujin at this point. He's got so many unhappy faces. His cities are just dying everywhere. So this city will fall. And come on, not domination victory. Oh, thank God. So we will see turn 285, thank goodness. All right, so I'm within 25 turns. I want those 3 points. I want those 3 points. At least I'm going to get the leader right, so I'll get something out of this game. Anyway, so yeah, there's not much left here. So how many Mongol cities are actually left in the game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 cities left. So it looks like he will survive for the wildcard game, I think. Although there's not a ton left. Like Washington is still pushing forward. There's so much unhappiness in like every city that it's just like as soon as units get up outside those cities, they just die. Also, a lot of the city defenses have been taken out by either naval units, like all the naval, well, coastal cities have no defenses because these Dutch ships have taken out all the defenses. It's amazing how strong the Mongols were throughout the game, and yet they're clearly just collapsing here in the final turns. Just like have a tiny core of cities left. All right, so we're at 59%. Again, Willem would have already won if he had taken these cities instead of Washington. But some of these cities should be, yeah, like this city's already at 500 culture. So as soon as, actually, I think when Sardis goes down, it might end the game. Because this city's going to pick up a ton of tiles. It's actually going to pop borders out to here. Might be 2 more cities. Let's say when Beshbulik and Sardis fall, that's the end of the game. Probably will require both of those cities falling. But I doubt we have 5 more turns in this game. I guess this city is still producing a lot of... Yeah, this city still controls all these tiles. Well, if Persepolis falls, that would end the game. This stack looks like it's probably strong enough to push over that city. The minimap is like this giant orange blob with like a handful of blue dots on it. Yep, I was right. I said when those 2 cities get captured, that's the end of the game, and I was right. Good estimate there. All right, so we end with turn 288 with a domination victory for Willem. 288. I'm going to mark that down right now. Domination, turn 288. Got the victory condition wrong, but I do think that Willem would have launched to space right around the turn I picked if he had gone for space. And I think he actually might have gone for space, but he didn't because he got attacked. And so the Mongols, after playing a good game of aggression, like they successfully ran over the Persians, successfully ran over the other Persians, but then picked the wrong target. got run over. So yeah, first place Willem, second place Washington. What? That's an unlikely outcome to move into the wildcard game. Let's watch the replay, and then we'll get to the scoring contest. All right. So what was important in the early game here? I think, so things that were important. Cyrus not getting control of metals was really a key factor in this game. I think the Dutch just really got control of all the important contested territory too. Oh, you know what? One of the big important things is, hold on, let me highlight it. This barbarian city here. This was just, stupid RNG, and this was really important because it meant that the Spanish were just kind of useless in this game. No copper for Spain meant that Spain was just a dead civ, just like sitting there as a dead civ. Izzy could not expand to the north because she had no units that could kill the barbarian units, and she wasn't really able to expand to the south either. Her weakness in this game really set up a lot of what happened. Cyrus not getting mysticism, the Barb City on Isabella. I agree with Frozen Roy. I think those were two of the biggest things. Here's another thing that was really important that was also unlikely. The Mongols got horses by virtue of this city here. Like, how unlikely is it that the Mongols would get this horse resource? Pretty crazy, right? But that was their source of horses. If they don't get that spot, like if the Dutch settle that or the Persians settle that, it's a very different war. So anyway, then we get our first other big war declaration. Cyrus attacks. Cyrus does not have metals. Genghis Khan does. We've seen how this plays out. Results in, really sets up the rest of the game. Persians get eliminated quickly. And we have a strong Mongols in a game where most of us did not expect to have a strong Mongols. Like, we really didn't think we were going to have a strong Mongol player. At this point, we have kind of a three-way split between Willem and Genghis Khan and Darius. They're kind of like the three co-leaders. I think Willem was like a little bit ahead, but Darius was actually very comparable to him in tech. And then this happens. Genghis Khan declares war on Darius. This really big because it stalls out Darius's teching. And eventually, of course, the Mongols win that war. But it slows the Mongols down, obviously, a lot. And then we have our other big thing. Willem decides to take out Izzy, picks up some high-quality territory for himself. Although he didn't get as much as you would think because he ended up handing it over to Stalin. Stalin picks two very dumb wars. His first war against Darius just does nothing. His second war against Washington also does nothing. Stalin was not able to snowball ahead. The best thing that happened to him was Willem gifting him cities, but he really did nothing on his own. So at this point, we're seeing Genghis Khan slowly conquering territory. And then Willem makes his second move, and really becomes the runaway by devouring Russia. And so we see the weak civs departing the game. Persia gets eliminated. Russia gets eliminated. Or, hold on. Now Russia gets eliminated. And then that just sets up our late game. Willem is the runaway. He's a full era ahead in tech. Genghis Khan can't stop being Genghis Khan and attacks him. And we know what happens there. It backfires, and that allows Washington to slip into second place. Not really a very impressive game from Washington, but I guess he hung in there, and he was able to capitalize on an opportunity when it arose. So there you go. Willem wins by domination. Another one of the big game points. Yeah, Genghis declaring on Darius rather than Willem. Also big. I wouldn't say it was unlikely because Darius was such higher piece weight as compared to Willem, but that was a big moment in the game too. Because he could have attacked Willem, and then Willem would have been, if not conquered, he would have been slowed down enormously, and then Darius probably wins the game if that happens. So as predicted, Genghis Khan does not win the game, but is enormously influential in determining who does. And that's our match.